glove ceremony going on here in Washington, D.C., which is normal, but there's also some ceremonies going on inside Nationals Park as the Phils and the Nats get set for Game 4 of this 5-game series. The Phils looking to win 4 in a row. A sold-out crowd getting a chance to see Ryan Zimmerman's jersey number 11 retirement here at the ballpark. Those ceremonies are going on right now. Hey, everybody, I'm Tom McCarthy along with Ruben Amaro Jr. So the ceremonies are going on here, so the Nationals fans aren't really thinking about last night's loss to the Philadelphia Phillies. The Phillies, though, are thinking about it. In fact, in the clubhouse today, in the dugout today, talking about all kinds of decisions and moments that led to the victory last night.
Yeah, really a great effort by the Phillies winning that second game and sweeping that doubleheader for the third win of the series. And just a whole lot of stuff going on. I mean, it started off with Bryce Harper. This should have been a walk, but it was not. It was called a strike. And then Kyle Finnegan comes back inexplicably. He comes back with another split, and he throws it over the plate to Bryce Harper, and he smashes it into the right center field gap for a huge 2-run double. And then the Phillies were kind of off to the races.
Yeah, off to the races. Schwarber scores. JT Realmuto scores. He had a huge at-bat to keep the inning alive. And, of course, Harper drives in the 2 tying runs. And then in the 9th inning, how about Matt Fearling? Again, his second home run of the game.
Yeah, he's been swinging the bat very, very well. Short, quick swings and just coming up with big base hits after big base hits.
And here's Didi Gregorius, who in Game 1 made 6 of these plays and just didn't make this one. And it turned out to tie the game up for the Washington Nationals. And then the 10th inning. It's just crazy. It's our mayhem moment brought to you by Allstate.
Yeah, just an amazing play just because you thought who is interfering with who in this situation. And Dusty Wathan makes a heck of a decision to send Rhys Hoskins, and they end up scoring a big run there. It ended up being really the winning run because they scored another run to get closer in the bottom half of the inning.
Yeah, in fact, Dusty said that he was yelling at Rhys, go, you're going to be out, but go as hard as you can. And then in the bottom of the 10th inning, Alec Bohm is able to make the play to wrap up the game, and the Phillies, another come-from-behind victory. This month of June has been amazing because they're 14-2. But Ruben, 7 come-from-behind wins. That leads to success down the road.
Yeah, you know what? This building, it builds continued confidence. They feel like they can win almost every single game, regardless of the situation, and they're playing just great baseball for Rob Thompson.
Yep, so the Phils will go after another victory here this afternoon against the Washington Nationals. This is a heck of a pitching matchup. Josiah Gray, over from the Dodgers last year, making his 13th start against Aaron Nola. Lineups and first pitch when we get back. Phillies baseball is brought to you by the Toyota Camry, now with available all-wheel drive. Visit your local tri-state Toyota dealer today. By Xfinity, supercharge your home with supersonic Wi-Fi, only from Xfinity. By Citizens, official bank of the Phils. And by Independence Blue Cross. Learn more at IVX.com. Little delayed for the first pitch of today's ball game. That's because the ceremonies honoring Ryan Zimmerman were awfully long here at the ballpark. He's still on the field. His daughters are about to say play ball, but they were really cool. The Nationals did a nice job honoring him and bringing back a lot of his teammates. Let's take a look at the ceremonies with our T-Mobile coverage cam for the best coverage in the game. Let's check it out. There's Jason Worth, who had a lot of nice things to say. Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber and the rest of the Phillies were out there watching. Mike Rizzo, he got a really loud round of applause. So did Dave Martinez, the manager. And then season ticket holders, they're the ones that pulled the drape off the number 11 that's now hanging here at the ballpark.
And I mean, a great honor for a player who has been not just a great ball player, but a tremendous representative of the Washington Nationals. He's a true leader and a great player. Obviously, with the home runs, he ranks first in pretty much every single offensive category. And the one that's really astounding is the 11 walk-off home runs. That is ridiculous. That's an incredible number, and very, very deserving, and really the face of the franchise for a long time.
And you saw he gave his number 11 jersey to his dad, who's catching the first pitch. And his dad walked around with the 11 jersey holding it up. His mom and dad were both here, and that's where he teared up when he was talking about them. So there he is. I mean, he was a great ambassador for the Washington Nationals and also for Major League Baseball during his time. And it was kind of neat to see, Jason Worth, who was here, and some of the old players like Daniel Murphy and Gio Gonzalez.
Yeah. Ian Desmond was here, and
he spoke very quietly.
Yeah, very quiet. It was tough to hear all the way up here.
It was tough to hear. One of the great moments was when Ryan Zimmerman's grandfather, who's not here, when he gave a speech on behalf of the Zimmerman family. And even though some of it was tough to hear up here in the broadcast booth, you can still see the emotion on the faces of the Zimmerman family while he gave the speech from his home. All right, let's take a look at the Phillies lineup for today, brought to you by Xfinity. Supercharge your home with supersonic Wi-Fi, only from Xfinity. There's a couple changes for the Phillies. Yep. You don't see Bryce Harper and you don't see Rhys Hoskins for different reasons. So Castellanos is the DH and batting third, where Bryce Harper would normally bat. Bryce is dealing with a blister that is infected. Normally, if it was just a blister, he would play. But because it's infected, they had to put medication on it and in him to try to rectify it. So hopefully this is it's not an issue that will take him out of tomorrow's game. And Rob Thompson said, who knows, he might be available to pinch hit. So there's Josiah Gray in his 12th, making his 13th start. Ryan Zimmerman, they can't get him to go home.
No, he wants to stay as long as possible, and the fans want him to stay. They want him to go out there, maybe DH and play first base.
Well, Kyle Schwarber's ready to dig in. And today's first pitch is presented by Bryant. Whatever it takes. And that's basically been the mantra of the Phillies over the last several weeks.
Yeah, they've been finding ways to win baseball games, and they're going to face a very good young pitcher in Josiah Gray.
And the first pitch is swung on and hit in the air to right center field. Fairly deep. Robles is under it. And he makes the catch. One pitch, one away. Here in the top of the first.
Josiah Gray is a 24-year-old right-hander. He was the 72nd overall pick and a competitive balance pick in the second round by the Cincinnati Reds, and he's been traded twice in a couple of blockbusters. One that involved Puig, Yasiel Puig, and Matt Kemp, and then he was traded again in that deal with Keibert Ruiz from the Dodgers. So he's bounced around a little bit, but he's starting to settle in.
Well, the first pitch to Didi Gregorius is in there, 0-1. It is a sellout today here at Nationals Park, which is impressive considering their record, but a lot of the folks were here for the ceremonies. They come in 23 and 45. Outside corner, and it's 0-2.
Gray's got a very, very good fastball. Use a four-seamer, 95, 96 miles an hour, about 44% of the time. 28% sliders. He's got an excellent slider and curveball in his arsenal.
Well, there was that curveball. His last three starts, he's 2-0 with an ERA of 1.13. He was scheduled to make a start the other day and was all warmed up, ready to go, and then it rained. And he didn't start.
Yeah, it wasn't great planning, I don't think, by the folks here at Washington. Usually you keep an eye on that radar so you don't get your guy started, and unfortunately he got completely heated up, so they just shut him down and gave him his normal rest.
Ground ball back toward the mound, over the mound, backhanded by Franco, flips on the run, not in time, and Didi is aboard with his second hit in this series.
Now, one of the things that I've noticed about Didi, especially lately, is that he's been using the middle of the field much better. Here, just punches that little curveball back up the middle, hustles down the line. Franco can't make the play, but that's the impressive thing about what Didi's been doing is instead of trying to hit the ball out of the ballpark almost every swing, he's now utilizing the whole field, getting on base, doing the small things that are helping this team offensively to win.
And now Nick Castellanos, a .261 hitter. 7 home runs, 36 runs batted in. And he fights that one off out of play. Yeah, doing whatever he can to help the team win, and that seems to be 1 through 9 the way things are, and then even beyond. Guys that aren't usually in the starting lineup who have to come off the bench.
Yeah, and you see Rob Thompson kind of he breeds that. I mean, he's giving guys confidence. I mean, even late in the game yesterday, giving some of the guys that have been struggling in the bullpen the confidence to go in there and do a job that was in huge situations.
I don't think anything was bigger bullpen-wise when you're talking about that than what Alvarado was presented with.
Well, especially with the way he's been throwing the ball, just hadn't been throwing strikes, and your kind of confidence in the guy had to be waning a little bit, but he threw him out there in a couple of tough situations and kept him out there for the W.
1 ball, 1 strike. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Slider. Time is called as Didi takes care of some landscaping over at first. Castellanos, the .341 average over his last dozen games. And now 2-2. StatCast, powered by Google Cloud, gives the pitch arsenal that Ruben spoke about before.
Yeah, he's got a variety of pitches, and he's one of those guys that doesn't necessarily like to walk people, but he also has been trying to strike out guys too much. Now, that's something that, with maturity, I think he'll get better and better at, just to try to get outs and be more efficient. But he's got a good arm. They think he can be a top of the rotation or at least mid-rotation type of starter.
He's averaging over a strikeout per inning pitched. And it's full now, 3-2 to Castellanos.
His numbers aren't great against the Phillies, I guess, career-wise. He's 0-1 with a 7 ERA, but he's a little bit different, more mature pitcher now than he was then.
Didi goes. Pitch is hit in the air to center field. Robles is going back toward the track. He's at the spot where he needs to be, and he makes the catch. I think on a different day that might have gone out. The wind is blowing in. Here's JT Realmuto, and last night he provided us with our Toyota Camry turning point, and it could have been on a couple of different occasions, but it's this one here.
It comes up in a big situation, and he stays through the middle of the field, punches the ball up the middle, and then there was that obstruction/interference call and Dusty ended up sending Rhys Hoskins on this play and just telling him, listen, I know you're going to get thrown out, but you got to go, knowing the rule. I mean, it's really just a great job by him. That was your Toyota turning point last night. And I'll tell you what, that helped them win the game. There were so many different things and elements of the game that made that win happen. But you got to give a lot of love to Dusty because he was right on top of that rule.
Yeah, Rob Thompson said that today. He said he couldn't be prouder of Dusty Wathan. He said, listen, when managerial jobs come up after this year, his name has to be close to the top of the list. He said he's so good with the rules. 1 ball and no strikes to JT with a runner at first, and it hits him. So JT hit by that pitch. That puts runners on first and second.
It hit him in a good part of his body, in his back, so didn't get any joints or bones, which is a good thing. Just a fastball that gets away from him as a four-seamer tries to get in, hits him in his left, looked like his left lat almost.
Yeah,
that's exactly how you're supposed to take your pitch. And there's a lot of people who kind of open up and puts the hitter in danger. He turned away from the pitch, which is the optimum way to be able to get out of the way if you can.
All right, so here's Odubel Herrera with runners on first and second. The last thing about, and probably not the last thing, but the last part of that play where JT hit one up the middle is just the conversation today in the clubhouse about what could have been. Some coaches thought when it initially happened that it would be interference on Rhys. What Dusty said was that when the point happened by the third base umpire, he said he knew it was obstruction. So he said he yelled as loud as he could to Rhys, as Ruben talked about. And I said to him, I said, do they always hear you? And he said, I don't know. He said, but I know he heard me there. And it worked out. Now, Dan Iasonia, who was the normal crew chief, who's not with the crew today, he released a statement basically saying what we said last night about once we peeled the onion back about the obstruction, why it happened. It's a judgment call, those type of things. But there are folks here with Washington that still do not think it was the right call, that Garcia was interfered with. And I don't know. I still didn't think he was going to get to the ball, and that's the judgment of the umpire.
No, and it's a tough call. There's no question about it. But I agree with you. I do not believe that he could have made a play on the ball. I'm not sure whether he was actually interfered with or not. And again, it's a judgment call, but fortunately for the Phils, it went their way.
2 balls, 1 strike to Herrera. And it's upstairs 3-1.
I do have to say something about the third base coaching job. I mean, you're literally the manager on the field. You're the general, and it's something that's not an easy thing to do. I had an opportunity to do it in one of the springs with the Boston Red Sox because Brian Butterfield was on the DL with a knee problem. And I'll tell you what, there's an adrenaline, and there's stuff going on in the game that you have to understand so much about what's going on.
Yeah, there's ball 4, and that'll load the bases up. And now Alec Bohm is coming up.
I'd love to take an advantage of this opportunity. I know there's 2 outs, but coming up with a base hit in this situation and giving Aaron Nola a lead before he steps out on the mound would be a thing of beauty.
Alec 4 for 15 in the series, but he is 0 for his last 7. He's got the bases loaded here in the top of the first. Inside, 1 ball and no strikes.
It looks like Gray is having a little bit of a struggle with his mechanics now and not able to throw consistent strikes at this time. You got to be real patient. Look for a pitch in the middle of the plate and give it a whack if you get it.
Foul tip, and it's 1-1. The JT at bat was the 5th batter that Gray has hit this year. So now it's 1-1 to Bohm. That's a good pitch. 1-2.
I don't think Alec could have done much with that pitch. Excellent location on that fastball.
Swing and a foul tip, and Bohm is struck out. And Gray.
I didn't think that ball hit the ground.
Yeah, that's what Bohm was saying.
That ball absolutely hit the ground. The whole team. I saw the ball. The ball literally was on the ground, and he picked it up. Someone has to see it.
Well, they appealed.
No. There's no question in my mind that this ball hit the ground. And they have to convene and make sure that they get it right because he went and scrambled for it. Ball's on the ground.
Well, Rob Thompson is pointing out Scott Barry, who's the crew chief, and saying you had to see it. So they're going to get together on this one. Well, things have been going the Phillies' way.
Well, I mean, this is so obvious that they just cannot mess this up. They just can't. And I know it's very difficult for the home plate umpire to see that because he's seeing it from behind him, and he can't. There's no way he can see it.
It is not reviewable, if anybody's wondered about that. So that's why they're not even going to the replay.
But can they request that they look at it in New York?
No.
Now they say foul ball.
Now they say foul ball.
And I don't think Davey Martinez is going to argue. There's nothing to argue. The ball hit the ground.
Yeah, and you know, Davey Martinez, while this is going on, now that there's replay ability, everybody looks at it.
Yeah. I'm sure that they called down to their guy to say, hey, did this ball hit the ground? The question I had was whether or not he actually fouled it off. I wasn't sure.
I wasn't sure if he fouled it off.
They immediately did say foul ball, though. So he must have ticked it.
Well, it's new life for the Phils.
Make them pay.
The count is 1 ball and 2 strikes, which is what Ben May is saying, because the scoreboard here, which has been all over the place this series, says 3 and 2.
Yes, it has. Got to wake up that operator, I think. Give him a little coffee. Or her.
Runners lead off, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Well, that time there was no question. So Bohm's down on strikes. No runs, 1 hit. They had 3 men left. We're going to the bottom of the first. Phillies nothing. Nationals coming up. Was in their half of the first. Now the Nationals will face Aaron Nola. Their lineup brought to you by Xfinity. Supercharge your home with supersonic Wi-Fi only from Xfinity. Cesar Hernandez leads it off. He's at second base. Juan Soto bats second. Nelson Cruz hits third. Josh Bell. So this series 4 home runs and 6 runs batted in. He became the first Nationals player to have 3 home runs in a doubleheader.
Yeah, pretty impressive. He's been swinging the bat very well. That ball is looking like a beach ball to him right now. And that would be the one guy that I would not let beat me if I was Aaron Nola.
So Nola making his 14th start. He did not fare well last year against the Nationals, but it's a much different lineup this year. In fact, his last start in September, he went 4 innings. He allowed 6 earned runs. But he's also a different pitcher than he was last year.
Yeah, the command of his fastball has been excellent this year. Was not there consistently last year. Was up in the zone far too much, I think, and he's been pounding the zone in the bottom of the zone much more consistently.
So we get a foul, and it's 1-1. Tied for second in the National League in strikeouts with 91. Corbin Burns is the leader with 100. Shane McClanahan from the Tampa Bay Rays, out of nowhere, I think, in some ways, 105 strikeouts. He leads the majors. Ground ball first base. Alec Bohm's first opportunity. Odds powered by PointsBet. Aaron Nola's strikeouts today. The over is 5.5, and it's -150, which is what they think is going to happen. And I think that's a pretty good bet. The under is 5.5 is +120.
And these guys know what they're doing. I don't know how they do it, but they're unbelievable. I mean, you would think that, I think that there was a little, the odds were a little different when we had Zach Wheeler firing, and somehow that game he only had 3.
That is true.
I don't know how they do it. How do they do that?
I don't know.
Are they doing it by computer? Are they doing it by I mean, is it an analytics thing? Because whoever it is and whatever it is, I mean, they're spot on.
I would think it's everything.
Yeah. Wow. Love to be in a room with those guys.
Bouncer left side. That's a tough play. And Soto is out at first base. Wow, what a play by Munoz.
I don't think they got him here, to be honest with you, but it was a heck of a play by Jairo Munoz. Him having to go all the way to his right. Now he's playing shortstop because of the shift. Soto was smelling that knock, and so he was busting it down.
The call on the field is out. Washington is challenging.
John Bacon made the call over at first base.
And Munoz makes a heck of a play, and a nice job by Alec Bohm of going out there and sweeping on the pick. I think I think he's safe. Sure is.
And David Martinez took a swipe at his star in the papers today about him not hustling yesterday on that double play. So maybe he bought into it.
Yeah.
But also knew that there was a chance he was going to get a hit on it too.
And Soto's got pretty decent power numbers off of Aaron Nola over the course of his career. 6 for 28, not great as far as average is concerned, but does have 3 home runs and 6 RBIs against him.
I thought Scott Barry was ready to render a decision because his counterpart John Bacon walked away from him.
After review, the call on the field is overturned. The runner is safe. Washington will retain their challenge.
No surprise there.
Scott Barry is the crew chief of this umpiring crew, with Iasonia being off today. We wondered last night why the rotation of the umpires was a little different than it normally would have been. And I guess that's why, because they have a certain rotation after a day-night doubleheader that they have to fall into. And since Iasonia was going to be off today, and I'm assuming tomorrow, that's why he wound up over at third base a second time in this series. And a throw over. Soto is 5 of 6 trying to steal bases. Scott and I are idiots because we try to figure out the umpire rotation when there's day-night doubleheaders, because we know that there's an additional one put in.
Yeah.
So we try to think along with what their rotation's going to be.
Just let it happen, Tom.
Swing and a miss by Nelson Cruz. Yeah, you would think that's the way you should do it, is to just let it happen.
Let it
for
happen.
some reason,
You guys tried to jump the gun a little bit.
well, you know,
You know.
like to be on top of it,
I know.
have some fun with
You're a
it.
professional. Aaron Nola going to fire that 30% four-seamers, 26% curveball, 22% sinker, 15.5% changeups, and he's been mixing a little bit more of a cutter lately on some of those, on some of the left-handers, and getting a little bit more comfortable with it. But he's got a nice mix working, and he's been throwing consistent strikes on both sides of the plate. See if it can continue through this month.
Swinging a foul tip, 0-2. Nelson Cruz has 10 hits, 2 home runs on this homestand for the Nationals. Outside, and it's 1-2. Today is Aaron Nola's 125th start since the 2018 season began. It's the most in all of Major League Baseball. Over that time, he's 3rd in strikeouts. He's 5th in quality starts, and he's 8th in whip, which is walks and hits per innings pitched. Now the opposition hitting just .219, but I think the biggest thing is that he leads Major League Baseball in starts during that time. It just shows you, thankfully, how healthy he's been.
Yeah, he posts up. There's no question about it, and he likes to pitch. He likes to be out there. He's always been like that since he was in college.
And a fastball and a called strike 3. That's a beauty. 94. Nelson Cruz, I think, thought it was outside. Yeah, there are 2 outs here in the first.
Yeah, Tom, this is what I mean about his command of his fastball. He's using both sides of the plate very consistently, and this pitch just comes back just a little bit. It's a four-seamer. He doesn't use that sinker, that backdoor sinker, but I don't know where he thought this pitch was, because it got a lot of the plate. Maybe he's just not seeing the ball out of his hand all that well now that he's 0 for 3 in his career against him. Excuse me, 0 for 4 now. Coming into this game at 0 for 3. He doesn't have a ton of at-bats against Aaron Nola.
There goes Juan Soto, the pitch inside, throw by JT. He is out at second base. What a throw by Real Muto. It was a quick release, and he sizzled it out to second base, and the side is retired. The Nationals are looking at it just to make sure Soto was out.
Just a supreme quickness on his release. I mean, he's a catcher back there, and that's the position he'd love to play if he wasn't a catcher. I talked to him about it. Just a great tag as well. Nice play, boys.
Helps out the pitch count for Aaron Nola. We head to the second. Here in D.C., Phillies fans turn to and join the millions who are already saving by adding Xfinity Mobile to their internet. An unbeatable connection only from Xfinity. I think the Nationals helped out the Phillies there by Juan Soto taking off with their hottest hitter at the plate.
It didn't make much sense. I mean, if you're going to try to get extra bases, especially with Josh Bell swinging the way he's swinging the bat, you better make it. That better be 100%.
Well, in today's game, you have two of the better throwing catchers in the National League. As Stott takes a strike, 1-1. Ruiz has thrown out 11 runners trying to steal this year, and now JT with that one has thrown out 10 runners trying to steal.
Just unbelievable quickness with his feet and his hands out of JT, and to be able to release it so quickly, just I marvel at his athleticism. It's pretty spectacular.
One and two to stop. Bryson is 0 for his last 19. Making his 36th start of the year.
Yeah, and one of the things I've seen from Bryson is that looks like he's trying to drive the ball out of the ballpark on the pull side way too much. When he was going well and swinging comfortably, he was just driving the ball through the middle of the field. Nice, easy, smooth swings. And not trying to do too much. Looked obviously a lot more comfortable, much more like the way he was swinging the bat in spring training when he was relaxed, putting up some really good numbers, just laying the bat on the ball. And I think that's just a natural reaction from a young player who's trying to do his best to have success. But it's so hard when you're a young player and you start to press a little bit maybe, and you think that you got to do a little bit too much. It's almost about doing a little bit less. Less is more.
3-2 is popped up over near first base, foul territory. Josh Bell under it, battling the wind, which everybody is today.
Yeah, this booth is too.
And 1 out.
Something's going to come down and fall on my head here shortly. There's no question. We're in my lap.
I hope the camera's running. Here's Matt Vierling. Time for our giant home run replay, and we can do it 2 different times for Matt Vierling yesterday.
Yeah, he gets a high fastball from Espino here, and he just throws his hands at it, just kind of Tommy hacks it. Smokes it out the left. Then almost an identical pitch, maybe even a little bit lower, a little bit more velocity from Tanner Rainey, and he smokes that one as well. A couple of big home runs for him in his first multi-home run game.
He looks like he's a lot more relaxed too from the time he started this season, when he was kind of struggling early part of the year. Again, not easy. Now you're tabbed as kind of the everyday center fielder, and you're expected to be the guy. Had a little struggle in the beginning, gets sent back down. Sometimes you kind of get that monkey off your back a little bit, come back up with some more confidence, and he's playing excellent baseball now.
Had his Fighting Irish t-shirt on today in the clubhouse after their win over Texas yesterday in the College World Series. 2 balls, no strikes, and Gray delivers.
Oh.
And that one is hit in the air to left field. It's hit pretty well. Hernandez is going back. The wind is really strong coming in. And it's going to stay in the yard. So 2 outs. You're going to have to hit it low, I think, to get it out today, because if what's happening up here with us is any indication of what's happening when the ball goes up into the air, it's pretty strong.
It's going to have to be a little bit of a 2-iron to drive it out to left, I think. How's your 2-iron, Tom?
Terrible.
That's a tough club to hit.
No, they're all tough to hit at this point.
We don't hit them enough.
Well, you do.
Yes, I do.
None of us do. 0-1 to Munoz. Munoz off the end of the bat. Roller toward first. Gray has it. Flips. That's an athletic play all the way around. That's solid. 1-3 on the putout. It was by both infielders, Gray and Bell. No runs, no hits, and nobody left. Look, it's by him there. And I guess it wasn't by Josh Bell, but oof. Bank of the Phillies, the most home runs in the month of June. Byron Buxton leads the way with 8, and then Kyle Schwarber, Josh Bell, Vlad Guerrero Jr., and Aaron Judge each have 7.
Well, June is his month. There's no question about it.
Well, and this series has been Josh Bell's month.
23 in 2 Junes in the last 2 years. That's a lot of bombs.
Josh Bell has put his name on that list because he has 4 home runs in this series. And he takes in 1-0.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I would pitch him. Try to crowd him, because when he gets his hands out, I mean, he's a big man. He has a lot of leverage. I'm going to try to tie him up inside as much as you possibly can. He's getting an extension right now with regularity.
Nationals wearing their City Connect jerseys today. The cherry blossom underneath the H. And now the 2-0 pitch from Nola. Fouled back, 2-1. That's a changeup, and it's low. And now 3 balls and 1 strike.
And when you got a guy as hot as this, you're going to use the entire arsenal and try to change speeds as much as you possibly can to get him off timing.
Noah this year has a 3.2% walk rate. Incredible. I mean, his command, and it's what Ruben was saying, has just been top shelf.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously got he's 8th in all of baseball in strikeouts per 9. He's tied for 14th in WAR, and then as far as his walks per 9, he's 2nd in all of baseball. I mean, it's been outstanding.
Yeah, the 3-2 pitch to Bell. Oh. And a called strike 3. Payne on the outside corner with 95. Yeah, that's his 2nd strikeout.
I mean, this is what I'm talking about with his command of his fastball. Down in the zone. I mean, absolute paint. Perfect spot. Josh Bell can't do a thing about it. Kind of he was hoping that umpire would call it a ball, but it's clearly a strike.
Yadiel Hernandez, the batter, hitting .265, and he takes a breaking ball for strike 0-1. He has 1 at bat in this series. It was a pinch hit single. That's a good pitch.
Yadiel's a great story. I mean, this is a guy that signed at age 29, really kind of late as a Cuban player, an international player, and kind of worked his way up through the minor leagues. I think he started in the AA, and after a few years, finally got an opportunity to play a little bit last year. Kind of made his mark, and now he swings, feeling a lot more comfortable, swinging the bat quite well.
1-2 pitch to him, inside 2-2. I was surprised that he wasn't in the starting lineup in one of yesterday's day-night doubleheader. I know he's a little nicked up, but still. A tapper back to the box. Aaron has it. And comfortably over to first. Well, if you've enjoyed this series down here in D.C., the Nationals are going to return the favor on Tuesday, July 5th at 7:05. It's Jewish Heritage Day. Wednesday, the 6th is also at 7:05. And then Thursday, the 7th, a 4:05 first pitch. You can purchase tickets anytime by going to Phillies.com. Ruiz 8 for 27 on the homestand, takes strike one, 0-1. This is one of only 2 trips the Phillies have down to D.C. this year. We don't come back here until later on, till toward the end of the year.
Yeah.
And that's because we were supposed to face them before this, lockout came. We were supposed to face them the first week of the season. 1 ball, 1 strike. So that series has been basically mixed in to this one and the one later on this year.
Yeah, and it makes some sense to be able to mix it in as opposed to tacking it on at the end of the year. It just makes the playoffs start far too late.
I just think it's weird that we're only coming here twice.
That is bizarre.
And it may be that way next year too, because of the revamping of the schedule.
Spread out the opportunities to face more teams.
Outside corner, 2-2.
It's going to be trouble for the Nationals hitters if he gets that pitch. He continues to gets the width of that strike zone. Because if I'm Aaron Nola, I go back out there again, because that's kind of off the plate.
And a line drive base hit it to right field for Ruiz. Well, he didn't go outside. He went toward the inner half.
Yeah, and he paid for it. Tried to rush that fastball in, get that front door sinker, and unfortunately left it out over the plate. Got to give credit to Ruiz. Promptly smokes it into right for a single.
That'll bring Maikel Franco to the plate. He's hitting .258 with 5 home runs, 29 runs batted in.
It's a tornado up here, Tom.
It is a windy day.
It's a hurricane.
I'll tell you where I wouldn't want to be on a day like this.
Parasailing?
One of those cranes that are out over top of one of the buildings.
Point well taken.
Well,
I'm already afraid of heights. There's no chance. You could not pay me enough to get up there.
1-0 pitch is a strike, 1-1. Franco takes strike 2.
Again, he is absolutely dotting that fastball and driving it down in the zone. Now he can go a bunch of different ways. He can try to elevate to have him swing over a fastball. He can spin that breaking ball. He really sets up a lot of things when he can dot that fastball away, because now he can go anywhere.
Oh, he came in with a changeup and it missed low, and now it's 2-2. Luis Garcia waits on deck. And a fastball that missed.
Goodness.
3-2, just off the plate.
Just by a whisker. Would not be surprised if they're moving the runner here. Oh, they will be moving the runner with 2 outs. Excuse me. Lost an out somewhere.
It happens.
Busy trying to track down my kids down there.
Runner goes, 3-2. Bounced on the ground to shortstop. Didi has it, plenty of time, and he zips it over. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left. 2 solid innings for Aaron Nola. It's pitcher's duel through 2. We'll go to the 3rd. Now through Father's Day. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. Oh, we go to the top of the 3rd inning. Kyle Schwarber will lead things off. Kyle flied out to center field. Hit it pretty well his last time up. There's a strike, 0-1.
Josiah Gray is one of his mentors and good friends over the years. He's gotten an opportunity to spend a little time with Marcus Stroman. So I'm looking at some of the similarities between he and Marcus. He's got a little swagger. I understand that. Very confident pitcher, likes to get after it. Excellent athlete as well. Marcus Stroman also a fine athlete.
Probably a good influence for him to have, just a mentor.
Yeah, and he really likes to get involved in the community, give things back as well. I think Marcus has talked to him about that stuff. As you know, see Marcus doing a lot of stuff on Twitter and talking about, you know, being a quality human being and community guy. And he's also a shortstop at Lemoyne before he was drafted, and he's an excellent athlete. He's actually kind of bummed out. He finally, in the Cape, he went to pitch there in the summer times and actually ended up, you know, that was the time when they finally decided he wasn't going to be playing shortstop anymore, and he was kind of bummed out about that.
Well, I think they projected 95 or more on the mound and said, yeah, this is where we're going to look at you.
I think he made the right choice.
That was a good play. Bouncing ball down the first base line. That's a fair ball over the bag. 3-1 on the putout. And with 1 away, Didi Gregorius is coming up.
Well, my computer's getting blown off. I mean, this is some serious wind. Wow.
You know, it was windy today, even coming from the hotel. Down on the field, though, it didn't feel that way.
Well, we're in a different space up here. This isn't a totally different. We're almost in a different time zone up here.
Gregorius takes outside. It's 1-0. Didi singled his first time up.
That Gray seems to have settled down quite a bit after that first inning. He got a big strikeout of Alec Bohm with the bases loaded, and since then it's been pretty effective. You can see kind of the confidence on the mound.
Two-oh pitch. It's a strike, and it's 2-1. Phillies have hit 30 home runs this month. Second in the National League to the Braves. Braves, by the way, have lost again today, 6-3 to the Cubs.
Now they better pack it in. Just pack it in. That's it.
Well, the Mets aren't slowing down. They're up 3-0 over Miami. That game's in the 5th. So the standings, the Mets lead the Braves by 6. Phillies by 8.
Ooh.
Fouled back, and it's 3-2.
Ooh, I bet he wants that pitch back again. Excellent swing by Didi. Just fouled it back. And a four-seam fastball right through the heart. Just a little bit high above the barrel, and he fouls it straight back. That's when you know you're on it.
Three balls, 2 strikes. And that's served foul over the dugout and out of play. Didi's ready to go, and now the 3-2 pitch. Back toward the middle again, off the mound, backhanded by Maikel Franco, and this time he throws Didi out. So 5-3 on the putout as Franco's playing up the middle. And with 2 away, that brings Castellanos to the plate.
Really another very good at bat by Didi Gregorius, and using the middle of the field. He can't do much about this other than just hit the ball hard, and got to give Maikel Franco some credit. Makes a nice pick, flips it on over to first base.
There's a pitch outside and high. Oh, he's up to 50 pitches here in the 3rd. Fouled back, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, the bulk of those coming in that first inning, and unfortunately the Phillies could not capitalize on it. Bases loaded, 2-out situation, and since then it's been fairly efficient.
Inside. Two balls, 2 strikes. Check swing. It's low. 3-2. Best records in June. The Yankees are at 14-1. Now that the Braves have lost, they've slipped next to the Phillies. Sounds funny to say that.
Slipped.
14-2. How about Boston and what they've been able to do? They're playing good baseball.
A lot of people writing them off about a month ago. Just, you know, when they were really struggling. They were about 10 or 11 games below 500.
Swing and a miss. A strikeout of Castellanos. That's the 2nd strikeout of the day for Gray. We played 2.5 here in D.C. We're on to the bottom of the 3rd. Aaron Nola going back to work. Philadelphia area local Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDealer.com. Well, Aaron Nola and Josiah Gray have pitched well today. Neither offense has gotten anything rolling. Nola will go to work against the bottom of the order, Luis Garcia, Victor Robles, and then the top of the order, Cesar Hernandez.
Yeah, over the last 3 or 4 starts, Josiah Gray throwing the way that the Washington Nationals would hope he'd be throwing like. Making a big trade and bringing him over with Kyber Ruiz. When you start trading guys like Scherzer and Turner, Trey Turner, I mean, some of the best players in the game, you want to get some quality back, and looks like they got a couple of pretty good ones.
Garcia jumps out of the way, kind of like Jose Alvarado did yesterday in his at-bat. Alvarado was walking in from the bullpen today before the ball game, or walking in from the outfield. He was doing some running. And Kevin Long and Jeurys Familia and Sir Anthony Dominguez were walking out as Garcia taps it foul, and it's 0-2. And as soon as Sir Anthony saw him, he said, "Hey," and he started dragging him over. He goes, "Come on." And Kevin Long goes, "Yeah, we got to go to the cage. Let's go." And they're making fun of him jumping out of the way of pitches that were on the outside part of the plate.
He hasn't had a whole lot of at-bats. There's no question about that. And I knew he'd just stand out there like a statue.
0-2 pitch. Up high, 1-2.
And another very shrewd move by Rob Thompson, really, of the motions and the machinations that he had to make to keep him into the ball game. And one of the ways to do that is to let the guy hit.
Swing and a foul tip. And Garcia is down on strikes. That's number 3 for Nola. And 1 out here in the 3rd.
Yesterday was like your typical, it takes a village to win a ball game. As you see Garcia swing through this high fastball. And, you know, you start to see some of the shadows that are creeping in closer and closer between home plate and the pitcher's mound. So the Phillies, they might want to score here pretty soon, because it's going to get pretty difficult. It may be difficult right now because you're going from light to dark. May not be able to see the ball that much.
Ball's hit pretty well out to right center, but Odubel Herrera is there. And Robles is retired, so 2 outs.
I'm not sure how much it is affecting the hitters right now, but at some point, gotta believe it will. Then you can't really pick up the rotation of the baseball out of the hand, and you have to hope that you see it really, really early, and that's hard to do. Part of that stadium already in shadows there.
Cesar's grounded out to first base today. He's 0 for 1. He bunts foul, 0-1. Cesar has never faced his former teammate. Cesar played for the Guardians last year. Fouls it off, and it's 1-2. Yeah, the 1-2 pitch coming in. Fouled back again. Cesar played for the Guardians and the White Sox. Yeah, the changeup that he's thrown today, it's been close. It's just been at the bottom of the zone, just a hair low.
And that's exactly where you want to miss, obviously. You want to keep the ball down, out of the zone. If you're going to miss down.
And now the 2-2 pitch to Hernandez. Out toward left field, but right at Schwarber, who makes the grab, and the side is retired in order. 1-2-3 go the Nationals. Here in the third. We have played 3. We're going to the 4th. No score. This RAV4 inning is brought to you by Toyota. Visit Toyota.com to find your 2022 RAV4 Toyota today. Toyota, let's go Phils. Well, both these pitchers have been excellent here this afternoon.
Yeah, nice little matchup. A young gun trying to get himself established here. He's been throwing the ball very well in those last several starts. And then Aaron Nola, who's bouncing back from having kind of a subpar season and really been throwing as well as anybody in all of baseball over the last month or so.
There's JT. You know, we talked so much about JT's single that drove in 2, and I know it was controversial, but breaking up the double play, like being able to leg out the back end of what was scored a fielder's choice, obviously. That was as big a play as we've seen in this game, in the game last night.
Absolutely huge. You make a great point, Tom, because it would have been real easy. I mean, he hadn't been swinging the bat all that well. It'd be real easy for him to just roll over and just kind of cruise down the line, but he busted down the line. They made the wrong call, was challenged, allowed Harper to get an opportunity to open it up. I mean, it was just so many different things that happened in that game. I know there were some minuses, some errors, and some miscues, but there was enough positive things to get them over the top and to get the W.
Line drive fouled on the left field line, and it's 1-2. Phillies were debating on whether they were going to challenge that or not in the dugout. They made the call underneath. They made the right call, right decision to do it. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. And Gray picks up his 3rd strikeout. And that begins the 4th. And Odubel Herrera's coming up. Start your Father's Day off right. Sunday, that's tomorrow morning at 11:30. Catch the series finale between the Phils and the Nationals only on Peacock. For more info, visit peacocktv.com/MLB. You gonna wear a red tie?
I have a red tie, but I think I might wear something different.
Interesting. Blue for Father's Day?
Possible.
You're not wearing blue. You would have said yes.
No,
You're gonna wear like pink or something.
It's a gray suit. I could wear pink. I could wear green. I brought a bunch of them. Guess I should put it out there on social media, as you said, right?
Yeah.
You think that'll work?
Well, as long as they pick the one you like.
Got very little fashion sense, so I got to ask somebody. It will be nice to be doing it with Mr. Kevin Franzen, though. That will be a joy and probably pretty emotional.
I would agree with that. But here's the thing about Kevin. He's going to probably wear a red jacket.
I bet he is.
Maybe he won't. Maybe
he's kind of drippy. He's kind of a style master, though.
Yeah.
Right?
He is a style master. 2-1 pitch. Towering fly ball. Shallow right field. Cesar is under it, waiting, and he makes the catch. 2 outs here in the 4th. Kevin's to the left. Ryan Zimmerman is in the middle, and Bob Carpenter is to the right. Kevin has pineapples on his shirt. Not sure why. I guess I assume Bob does too, since they're wearing the same shirt.
Yeah, same shirt.
Kevin has a headset that's around his ear because he doesn't want to mess up his hair.
Right. He's a style master.
He's a diva. Here's Alec Bohm. He struck out his first time up. I can't wait till he comes in here and finds out that you called him a diva.
He might strangle me. Put me in a headlock.
Fouled, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, Josiah Gray usually utilizing a variety of pitches. That slider has been excellent. Got a lot of punch outs with it so far. Commanding his fastball well, keeping the Phillies off balance.
Bouncer back toward the middle. Ranging to his left is Garcia. From behind the bag, he throws it right on by Josh Bell. And Bohm's going to get second base on that. It'll be an E4, or excuse me, E6. I think in my mind, I keep thinking they're better off putting him at second base because he just can't make that throw.
No, you're absolutely right, and I do believe, I agree. He just seems like he's more suited to play second base, and he's had quite a number of miscues here. This is a play that has to be made by pretty much every shortstop in baseball, and he's having a lot of trouble with his angles. He's having trouble with his ability to throw accurately, and I mean that would have been 10 hitters in a row that Gray would have gotten had he could completed that play. Had a chance to talk to Gary DiSarcina, who works with him exclusively, along with Tim Bogar, who's the bench coach for the club. Gary DiSarcina, the third base coach for the Nationals, and handles the infielders in it. It's kind of a work in progress, trying to do their best to get him right.
Pulled foul, and it's 0-2.
You can do all the work in the world, but if the guy just can't make the plays consistently, then you may have to slide back over to the other side of the bag.
This young man needs a hit. Bryson Stott, 0 for his last 20.
He sure does.
Down to the count, no balls, 2 strikes.
Just a little blooper. Take anything.
Back toward the middle, over the mound, over the second base bag, and Garcia throws him out. 6-3 on the putout. No runs, no hits. 1 man left. There was 1 error. Gray's allowed 1 hit through 4. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th. On your 2022 RAV4 Toyota today. Toyota, let's go Phils. Bottom of the 4th inning. We're scoreless. Juan Soto will lead things off.
A little different from the last few games we've seen here. A lot of action, a lot of runs, a lot of homers. So far, these two pitchers locked into a nice little duel.
Soto, first time up, reached on an infield hit to the left side. And then was caught stealing to end the 1st inning. And he lines that one to center field. Odubel is there. That ball was hit right on the nose. And 1 out. He is now 1 for 14 in this series.
I got to tell you, this is an outstanding play by Odubel Herrera. He's playing very good in the outfield. This ball smoked. He gets an immediate jump on the ball, comes in, handles it easily, fairly easily. I think he thought he was going to. That ball hung up because that's such good backspin. I mean, 109.6 off the bat. That ball was smoked. Stayed up for him. Made a nice play.
Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Got to believe with the way the shadows are right now, it's going to be very difficult to distinguish fastball from changeup. That was an excellent changeup from Aaron Noel there with Cruz swinging through it.
2-1.
Sometimes the ball just looks like a black sphere. You just don't, or a gray sphere. You can't distinguish the seams when those shadows are in between the pitcher and home plate.
And that's off the glove of Aaron Nola. Thankfully, he picks it up after a couple of hops, throws to first. Whew.
Bet you that was scary for him.
I'm sure it was. That ball was hit as hard as the one that Juan Soto hit.
Just a reaction play. He just stays right with it. Hits it hard off the ground and stays with it. Calmly makes the play. Nelson Cruz doesn't run all that well, but he was busting it down the line.
Man, that ball was hit hard. All right, 2 away. Josh Bell is up. He struck out looking his first time up. Change up. Beauty. 0-1.
I might throw it again. Wow. Perfectly placed fastball. He goes down and away with a changeup and an up and in. The top of the zone in the corner. I'm thinking maybe backdoor curveball. Again, he can do whatever he wants right now with the way he's
absolutely
painting his pitches.
And a high fly ball to center field. Going back on it is Odubel Herrera, and several steps from the track makes the catch. That's an 8-pitch inning. And the Nationals go down 1-2-3. We have played 4. We're going to the 5th. It's scoreless. Phil's Nets. Again, brought to you by WHYY. After former New York Giants and Green Bay Packers tackle Cal Hubbard retired from the NFL, he became an American League umpire. From 1936 to 1951, he worked 4 World Series and 3 All-Star games. His career ended as a supervisor in 1969. Hubbard came up with the idea that umpires needed to be positioned on the field. So based on a suggestion, Major League Baseball implemented the 4-man umpiring crew. As Vierling tried to bunt his way on, and he bunted it foul. It's 0-1. Hubbard is the only man in history to be elected to both the baseball and football Hall of Fame.
The only
one.
Well, Deion Sanders had a shot at it maybe, but wasn't good enough at baseball, I don't think.
You know,
not quite.
Longevity is just a hard thing to. I mean, you need it. Obviously, you need it in football too, but you need it in baseball more than I think you need it in football to get some of those numbers.
No question.
1 ball, 1 strike to Vierling. He flied out to left his first time, headed out toward close to the warning track.
It was amazing that the Atlanta franchise were the one that basically had 2 guys at the same time, Brian Jordan and Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
Going 2-sport athlete. Pretty amazing.
Brian Jordan was a fantastic athlete.
Wow.
Inside, 3-1.
Deion Sanders was so electric on the bases. I mean, the only guy that I saw that amazing on the bases was maybe Bo Jackson, another 2-sporter. I mean, the way these guys ran the base, it was electrifying.
3-2. 6 full counts for Josiah Gray.
And that's what you're looking at. You almost cannot see the spin of the ball.
Ground ball to shortstop Garcia.
Ooh.
One hopper dug out by Bell.
It's about the 7th or 8th errant throw this series. Really nice play by Josh Bell, staying with it, picking it.
Again, good hustle by Veerling.
So now Munoz, who's 0 for 1. Munoz grounded out. A little squibber up the first base side that Gray tracked down. Are there any techniques that you would use as a hitter to try to see in spots like this?
Some guys try to use, you know, those different type of glasses, like they've used, like the glasses that'll lighten up. Some, I guess, the yellow ones, Oakley's or whatever.
Yeah, Jimmy would use those sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes guys would use those.
Here's this foul ball that Munoz hit that hit the catcher and the umpire.
He just plays it off. Nothing happened. Nothing to see here.
That's funny.
It's not an easy job back there, especially now. I mean, the ball's coming in at unbelievable speeds, and catchers in that one leg stance, a lot of the times they're exposing them as well. Now Ruiz doesn't do the one leg stand, but there's what, maybe 80 or 90% of the catchers in Major League Baseball doing it now?
I would think so, the way it looks anyway. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Not only exposes themselves to those foul tips, but it also exposes the umpire.
Poked foul. Gray has K'd 3 so far. His strikeouts per 9. He's 8th in the National League. That one's popped up on the left side. Garcia makes the call and the catch, 2 outs. And back to the top of the order for a 3rd time. Kyle Schwarber's coming up.
Yeah, a little combination of the shadows and Josiah Gray really commanding his stuff, throwing a great slider, staying out of the middle of the plate. You know, the guy's given up 14 home runs, so he's been making a lot of mistakes over the, or had made a lot of mistakes over the course of the year, but he's starting to mature and commanding his stuff much better over the last several starts.
Yeah, the 14 home runs he's allowed is tied for 5th most in Major League Baseball. Eleazar Hernandez and Bruce Zimmerman are at the top of that list. As Schwarber lines it, I guess, off that seat, and that young lady's able to pick it up.
And they are lucky because that had some hair on it. That was smoked.
Inside. Pitches for inning. Now 3-2. That one just missed inside. And ball 4. So Schwarber works the walk. He's now reached base safely in 23 consecutive games, which matches his career high. It was set last year.
Nice at bat by Kyle, laying off that backdoor breaking ball, and was lucky he didn't have a whole lot of action on that 95-mile-an-hour fastball prior to that.
Baseball is more fun with friends, so gather a group and join us at Citizens Bank Park. Groups of 25 or more will receive discounts. Visit Phillies.com/group tickets for more info. Didi hits it the other way down the left field line, and it slices out of play. 0-1. Fouled back, 0-2.
Again, Gray getting ahead of most of the hitters. I don't know if he's been behind very many at all today. Continues to pump strikes.
.0-2 counts. Schwarber goes, and then Gray steps off. Kyle has stolen 3 bags. Popped up over near the Phillies dugout.
And you still may see him take a shot at it with 2 outs, 2 strikes on the hitter. See the Phillies do this quite a bit to try to get him in a scoring position. Got to grab an extra 90 feet, put himself in scoring position. As so few teams utilize the pitch out, even in an 0-2 situation. There are literally no managers in this day and age that want to give up any balls. None.
Outside, 1-2. 94 on that 4-seamer.
I think you might see Schwartz go right here.
He was leaning a little bit on that last pitch. I thought he was going to go. He does not go, and the pitch low, 2-2.
See if he can make a mistake on Didi here in this pitch. Punch went into the gap.
Yeah, it's a long at bat for Didi. Two balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch in the dirt, and Ruiz blocks it. Now he will be going with the count 3-2. Schwarber takes his lead, not being held on. And he'll go. 3-2 pitch. Popped up. That is way up there. Garcia, the shortstop, comes running in, and he makes the catch, battling the wind. And the side is retired. No runs, no hits, and one man left. We're going to the middle of the fifth. No score. 2008, on the 60th anniversary of his MLB debut, Robin Roberts' number 36 is officially retired by the Phillies. What a great man Robin Roberts was. He would be impressed with Aaron Nola, there's no doubt. So this is what Aaron's done in his last 4 road starts, counting today. 23 1/3 coming in, now 27 1/3, and 3 earned runs.
It's really kind of been a problem for him on the road in his last several years, right? He hadn't been really throwing the ball that well on the road.
Well, he was definitely better at home. I mean, and it was by a wide margin.
Yeah.
He was better at home by a wide margin.
And he's been excellent this season.
He starts the 5th against Yadiel Hernandez. Hernandez bounced one back to Aaron his first time up. Fouls it away, and it's 0-2. Quickly 0-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. That's 4 strikeouts for Nola. He's retired 8 straight.
Yeah, this is just a filthy curveball, which is kind of his strikeout pitch and has been for some time, but the late bite on it. Yadiel Hernandez swings over it. Keeping the ball down in the zone consistently, and it's a beautiful pitch.
So now Ruiz singled. He has one of the 2 hits for the Nationals. Yeah, that one runs out, and it's 1-0. It's a nice curveball there. Two and one. There are a lot of folks here today. A jam-packed house. Two and two. Came back with a second curveball. Always looks great when the yard is filled. Doesn't matter where we are.
Sure does. Out here to celebrate Ryan Zimmerman and the retirement of his number. Probably a lot of Phillies fans here too.
I would think so. He's out in front of another curveball. Cut out and miss. That's 5 strikeouts for Nola. And 2 quick outs here in the 5th.
I mean, he's been using his fastball primarily. Now he's going to the curveball in this situation. Now these guys have seen a chance to see him pitch, and now he's mixing in that breaking ball, and I mean, that is just filthy.
Back toward the middle, and Nola's got it. And this will turn out to be another easy inning for Aaron. So he's got a 1-2-3 inning now in 3 straight. It's a 9-pitch inning, 8 last inning. Total control, and the Philly fans like it. Has powered his way to 9 home runs since the start of May and into the first 2 weeks of June, including his 10th career multi-home run game. Most importantly, Reese is doing his best to help the Muscular Dystrophy organization with his wife Jamie, who is supporting those in need. That's why he's the Philly of the Week. And it's brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Day off for Reese today, but he is available to pinch hit. Bryce Harper, Rob Thompson said he hoped he was available to pinch hit. Reese, as we said, just a day off. And for Bryce, he had a blister on his finger, and it was infected. So they were doing some treatment today, making sure that there was going to be no lingering issues.
Yeah, hopefully he'll get back in the lineup tomorrow.
It certainly didn't affect him on the double last night. 115 off the bat. Mentioned that he was out for the ceremony for Ryan Zimmerman today. He was out the entire time, and it was a long ceremony. It took about an hour. And he and Brad Hand and Kevin Long, all guys that have had a hand in the Washington Nationals franchise, they were all out here. Kyle Schwarber, many of the Phillies players sat on the bench, watched the whole ceremony. 2-0 pitch to Castellanos, and a high fly ball to shallow right field. Soto is under it. One away here in the 6th inning. And now JT Realmuto.
Boys can't seem to get anything going against Gray. He's getting ahead of hitters, making his pitches, and on the times where he's behind, he's actually getting them to swing at pitches a little bit out of the zone, and he's staying out of the middle of the plate.
Ground ball toward third and foul. The umpire at first called him out. The umpire at third called a foul ball.
And JT, I think, thinks it was
JT did not know which way to go.
I think he thinks he thought it was out.
Watch the hands of Clint Vondrak.
And it is indeed a foul ball. Now, if any part of the ball crosses over the base or the bag, then it is a fair ball, but that certainly did not.
Looked like it hit something and just, made an abrupt left turn.
Yeah, I think it was a cut of the grass.
The umpire telling him, okay.
Continue this at bat, thank you.
Yeah, it's no balls and 2 strikes to JT. JT was hit by a pitch in the first. He struck out in the 4th. Michael Bourne was down in the dugout yesterday talking to JT. He said, I heard you were a really good basketball player in high school. And JT said, well, I could rebound. And I said, what about a ball under the basket? He goes, I can probably put that back in. He goes, but if I lingered outside the key, I wasn't able to do too much.
They could play defense.
Right.
They could lay one up. But he couldn't shoot.
I didn't realize that he had stopped wrestling going into the 9th grade. He said it was too hard to play football, which was his number 2 sport.
Yep. And
have to cut weight for wrestling. He said it was just too difficult.
That's really grueling to cut that weight. I mean, my high school at Penn Charter, I was a big sport there, but watch those guys try to lose weight. I mean, it was tough for them.
Cesar throws him out. 4-3 on the putout. And there are 2 outs. And now time for a word from Mattress Firm.
Mattress Firm's Season of Dreams sweepstakes could take you to the All-Star Game. Go to MLB.com/Season of Dreams to view official rules and to enter the Season of Dreams sweepstakes today.
All right, so 2 away. Josiah Gray is up over 100 pitches. And Odubel Herrera is coming up. Phillies have just 1 hit. Single by Didi back in the 1st, and that is it.
So coming into this game, Odubel was 4 for 5 against Josiah Gray with a home run and a ribby. The Phillies haven't been able to get much going since that first inning.
Low and in, 2-0. Pulled on the ground, 2-1. Odubel 4 home runs here at Nationals Park during his career. A .294 average here in D.C. with those 4 homers.
So the board has him at 105 pitches. Can that be correct?
It is correct. He's at 105. He's got a lot of 3-ball counts.
I guess.
I mean, he's got a lot of 0-2 counts. Outside, 3-1. He has 8 full counts.
I gotta believe this is going to be his last inning.
There's nobody warming up as of yet.
I know they're a little depleted because of the last couple of nights, and they have been struggling in the pen some, but I can't imagine they're going to let this kid go much more than this.
3-2. That slider, which has such great action and is such a good swing and miss pitch, he gets for a called strike.
Yeah, really an excellent 3-1 pitch. It goes backdoor slider, and it stays right there on the corner. Odubel obviously thought it was a ball and gave up on it.
Swinging a foul ball. It remains 3-2. That one popped right in and out of his glove.
That slider hung up in the middle of the plate. Odubel just missed it.
Swing and a miss. It gets away from Ruiz. It bounced before the plate. And Odubel is safe at first. So that'll be a strikeout and a wild pitch. I mean, it bounced in front of the plate.
Yeah, Josiah Gray goes with the curveball this time, and it had tremendous bite. A little 12-6 rotation and drops down. Obviously, Odubel's not seeing that ball all that well. And again, I'm wondering if it's still part of the fact that there's shadows there. Talk to the hitters about it, because he wasn't even close to that pitch.
Well, now Jim Hickey's going out because the Nationals have just now started to get somebody up. I'm surprised they didn't have somebody up the last couple of batters, even just in case this inning got away. Alec Boehm is due up. Erasmo Ramirez, who has thrown in 2 other games, is warming up. They added Machado back to the roster today.
I believe it was Evan Lee who got hurt.
Yep.
Now on the IL.
An NL East matchup that you don't want to miss at Citizens Bank Park. It's coming up Tuesday, June 28th at 7:05. It's Pride Night presented by the Giant Company. Wednesday, June 29th, it's African American Heritage Night. Thursday, June 30th at 6:05. It is also Dead and Company Night. Now, what this means is that you can buy your tickets, Phillies.com. It's not the concert, Dead and Company. That's later on this year, but they're having a night in honor of Dead and Company.
Huh.
Runner at first base, 2 outs. Alec Boehm, the batter, takes a fastball 0-1.
Now Josiah Gray is fairly long to the plate. As we know, Keibert Ruiz can really throw the ball well, but you may see Odubel Herrera give it a shot to try to steal a bag. He's got a huge lead right now, and he's way off the bag.
That is a big lead.
That is a monstrous lead. I would not be surprised by a pick here.
Unless that cutout is just small.
No, he's way out there. The typical lead is right around, I think, maybe 12 feet or so. He's got to be at least 15 feet out there. He's well out. Well, Greg's a pretty good athlete. I don't know what kind of move he has. I haven't studied his pickoff moves, but he's a good athlete, as we've talked about.
A lot of moaning going on after that pitch was called a ball, and it's 2-1. Swing and a foul tip, 2-2. Phillies have not had a hit since the first. The Nationals haven't had a hit since the second. We're here in the 6th inning.
I looked, Herrera's looking to try to get a jump. Couldn't quite get it there. He had to pull up. Probably should try to push the envelope a little bit. Try to get himself in the scoring position.
Two and two. There goes Odubel. Pitch is way outside. Ruiz's throw not in time. And the Phillies have a runner in scoring position. Third stolen base for Herrera. Now Cesar Hernandez telling the Nationals to look at it, that maybe Odubel came off the bag. So right here he switches hands. Well, he might be off. His hand's on there.
And really, that's not the design why they ended up doing that. You know, the replays, but that little backdoor tag play has become a pretty big part of the whole process, which I don't know if that's quite right.
Outside, ball 4.
I mean, you are supposed to obviously stay on the bag, but I've seen so many times when guys slide and he kind of slides, his body goes over the bag, and you know the tag is still on the body, and they ring the guy up because there's some air between the body and the bag. I just don't feel like that was the reason why they did it. I mean, it's just, I don't know, counterintuitive to me.
Well, Bryson Stott is 0 for 2. Went around, and it's 0-1.
Be a nice time for him to bust out. Been quite some time. 0 for his last, what, 21 now?
He is 0 for his last 21.
It's not a great feeling. I've been there.
It'll be a great feeling if he gets a hit here. This is the second time this year that Gray has reached 100 pitches in a game. A tapper back to the box, and Gray has it. And he flips underhand. And the side is retired. No runs, no hits, 2 men left. Nice round of applause for Josiah Gray, who I'm sure is done now. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. Pennsylvania Lottery. Pennsylvanians are scratching their way to fun thanks to Pennsylvania Lottery scratch-offs. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Well, it is a scoreless ball game. Josiah Gray is done after more than 100 pitches this afternoon. He's gotten 6. He's allowed 1 hit. That's it. He's walked 3, struck out 4. Aaron Nola has allowed just 2. Last hit he allowed was a single in the second.
A good old-fashioned pitcher's duel this afternoon, and Josiah Gray probably done for the afternoon. Really threw the ball well, kept the Phillies off balance. Very good slider, spotted his 4-seam fastball, and hopefully Aaron Nola can keep him in the game, keep those zeros coming.
Luis Garcia leads it off. He takes inside with a curveball. Garcia is 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up.
Of course, Aaron's kind of used to this non-run supports.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a whole lot of it.
He's been better lately, or the Phillies have been better lately. But you're right. The first April and May, he was in the top 5 in the least amount of runs scored on his behalf. Ground ball right side, backhanded by Stott, throws on the run off the glove of Bohm. Well, the ball was kind of squirting out of his glove as he fielded it, and I wonder if he just didn't have a grip on it.
Yeah, and this may actually be ruled a hit. You know, Garcia was busting it down the line. Stott came at it very, very well, but he couldn't get it cleanly out of the glove. Had a little bit of problem on the exchange, a little low throw, and Garcia kind of beating that out. It'll be interesting to see how they score it. Real close play, regardless. Tough pick for Alec Bohm, and a nice job of getting out there, but unfortunately the ball popped out of his glove.
Well, it ends a streak of 10 in a row, retired by Nola. And here's Robles. He bunts back to the mound. Nola's got it. Looks to second. Throws to first. Sacrifice successful. 1-3 on the putout.
Yeah, interesting. This is kind of a sacrifice slash bunt for a base hit. As the feeling was that if he doesn't get it down properly as a drag bunt, that he would just be able to get a sacrifice out of it. It's exactly what happened.
Well, Cesar is 0 for 2. He's grounded out and he's flied out to left. Neither team has really had any opportunities with runners in scoring position. In fact, the Nationals have not had a runner in scoring position until now. Phillies, meanwhile, they had them in the first. They had a couple. Another one in the fourth. Pitch toward the right side. Sliding play by Stott. Gets to his feet quickly. Fires to first in time. Fantastic play for the second out.
You got that right, T-Mac. This is a spectacular play and could be a game-saving play. Has to go hard to his right. He had a tough play earlier in this game, but he has to go hard to his right on a ball that's just a bullet. And I'll tell you what, Stott spinning the opposite way and throwing an absolute strike to Alec Bohm. I mean, just a beautiful play. First of all, he saves the run. And then he gets the speedy Cesar Hernandez by a hair. Aaron Nola was very appreciative.
The Garcia ball has finally been called a hit. Took a little while.
Yeah. Well, they weren't sure because it wasn't hit that hard. It was just placed well.
Soto takes outside.
Now, Soto looks a little bit more locked in than he has been in the last over the last couple of days, and has hit a couple of balls pretty hard so far today. One of the first cutters I've seen Aaron Nola use. Kind of not surprised he used that cutter on. I guess they probably gave him the free pass now.
Yeah, I was wondering, once it got to 2-0.
Not a bad idea with the way he's swinging the bat today. I know he has not been swinging the bat all that well over the last couple of weeks, but you don't keep a guy like that down too long. This move does make some sense. I knew they have a pretty good hitter coming up here in Nelson Cruz, but I think this is the right thing to do by Rob Thompson.
All right, Nelson Cruz is 0 for 2. He has struck out. He's grounded out. He grounded back to the pitcher his last time up. Home half of the 6th inning. Scoreless game. Swing and a foul, and it's 0-1.
Again, I don't think they'll try to run here in this situation or steal a run. And frankly, if I am the Phillies, I don't necessarily risk throwing the ball down to second base unless I know that I'm going to get him. Really need to concentrate on getting the hitter with this 2-out situation.
Oh, 0-2. Odds powered by PointsBet. The Phillies came in favored at -176. And since it's scoreless here in the 6th, it's even with the current odds. Philadelphia -115, Washington -115.
Makes some sense.
0-2. Funny the way I would think about it. Now I'm thinking about the odds. Is that Phillies bullpen better than Nationals bullpen? Phillies starter has thrown 70, so he's going to probably stay in the game. Maybe give the Phils an edge. I don't know. That's my own algorithm. Swing and a miss. He got him. Big time pitch by Aaron Nola to strand 2 on the corners. No runs, 1 hit, an infield hit, and 2 men left. He has been outstanding today. And by the way, an excellent play by Bryson Stott to make sure an out was recorded. I mean, look at this fastball. Up, and it just kept on going. 6 strikeouts for Nola. We're going to go to the 7th. Scoreless game. Time now for your Delaware Valley Honda Dealers game summary. And, well, looks like there's a little more offense in the park today. Although their bases are kind of odd, cones instead of bags. But anyway, we go to the top of the 7th inning. The only hit for the Phillies, a Gregorius single in the 1st. Aaron Nola's been excellent. 6 innings, 6 strikeouts. Meanwhile, the Nationals have 3 hits. Josiah Gray is done after 6 innings and 117 pitches. Nola, meanwhile, has 71 pitches in the same amount of time. And Matt Vierling will lead it off against Erasmo Ramirez, who's been a workhorse in this series, it seems, anyway.
Going to see a ton of cutters, especially to the lefties. Cutters, 4-seamers, sinkers. Veteran's been around a long time. Mix in a curveball and change up from time to time.
Another cutter, and it's 0-2.
Not going to dazzle you with his stuff. Going to try to get you with his command, changing the speeds a little bit.
Fly ball, right field line, foul territory. Bell can't hold on.
Bell looking like a tight end out there trying to make a play, and it just doesn't quite make the play. Not an easy play over the shoulder. Kind of battling some sun, maybe a little bit of wind. off the heel of his glove, pops out. Pretty good effort. See if Matt Vierling can capitalize on it.
Matt has hit in 4 straight games and the 2 home runs in yesterday's ball game.
Oop.
Inside 1-2. He's
Look out.
Probably going to get a cutter here now.
Yep. Purpose pitch, going to push him off the plate and come back with something away.
And a called strike 3, and it pops right out of the glove of Ruiz. 1 out here in the 7th. Wawa Welcome America is back at NBC 10 and Telemundo 62 are bringing it to you for 16 days of free family-friendly fun. Plus a free concert on the Parkway featuring Ava Max and Jason Derulo. Celebrate our nation's history at Wawa Welcome America. All right, so Jairo Munoz the batter with 1 out here in the 7th. And a high fly ball to deep left field. Going back is Hernandez. It is gone! Jairo Munoz has given the Phillies the lead. It's his 2nd home run of the series. It's a 1-0 game.
Almost an identical home run to the one he hit earlier in this series, and he just gets a cutter. He was sitting on it. There was no question about it because he got it up and out over the plate, and he pounds it to left field for a big home run, giving the Phillies a lead. Here's that cutter. It stays in the middle of the plate, and he just shillelaghs it to left.
Wow.
Wow, what a nice swing. And you know what? He knew it. You think he was pumped?
I think he might have been pumped.
He was screaming at himself. I love it.
4 home runs for him here at Nationals Park in his career. I mean, which is a pretty good amount considering how many he has in his career.
It's like this hitter's eye.
And now Kyle Schwarber with the count. No balls and 1 strike. Fouled at the plate. 0-2.
It is amazing how many contributions they're getting from basically everybody in that dugout. I mean, every single day they're getting it from somebody new, and somebody's passing the baton or coming through with a big base hit.
1-2.
But they cannot stop here. They got to try to spread this out because it's going to put too much heat on Aaron Nola to hold them down, even though he's pitching so well.
Ground ball over to first and gobbled up by Josh Bell. 3 out assisted. And now 2 outs. Didi Gregorius is coming up.
Jairo kind of basking in the glory a little bit right now. As well he should.
Yeah, think about it, though.
He's made an immediate contribution. I mean, the guy hasn't been here for what 5-6 days?
2 solo home runs. His batting average is just over 100, but still.
Oh.
And that is just foul. You gonna get Captain Obvious on the Peacock game tomorrow?
Oh, no doubt.
He's gonna tweet at you again. He's down the left field line today. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Has he been tweeting at me?
I know he tweeted at me this morning.
Oh, really?
I thought he included you also.
You know, sometimes I don't check it enough. Probably a good thing.
He just wanted to thank us for mentioning him. Outside, 2-1. Ground ball right side. Waiting for it is Franco, the third baseman. And the inning is over, but the Phillies strike first. It took 7 innings, but they did strike first. Jairo Munoz, the number 9 batter for the Phils, goes yard for the second time in this series. Hits it out to left field to give the Phillies a 1-0 lead. It's time to stretch. The Phillies on top of the Nats.
At Nationals Park, and it looked a little dicey there for a second maybe, but wow. We've talked about it on the pregame, Ricky. The contributions up and down this lineup. You got the 9th hitter coming through with Munoz and that big solo home run.
It has. It's been somebody else every single night. And I think that's a good thing for the team because it doesn't put any added pressure on any one single player. And, you know, you have Munoz come up there, hit that ball out of the ballpark. Yeah. We're watching the game. Early on in the game, ball's not carrying out there. He gets a little slider cutter piece. Hits it out to left field. I mean, good piece of hitting, stayed back on it. Got a pitch down the middle of the plate, but he didn't miss it. So that's a good thing. Put the Phillies on top. Hopefully Aaron Nola continues to do what he's doing. I love Aaron Nola's curveball today. It's been outstanding.
We'll see if that home run by Munoz holds up for Aaron Nola and the Phils. We'll send it back down to D.C. and check in with Tom and Ruben.
All right, Amy, thank you. Ricky, we appreciate it. We'll talk to you guys in the post-game show. Phillies do lead it 1-0 as we move to the bottom of the 7th inning. And Aaron Nola will go back to work. Aaron has struck out 6. And Bell fouls it, and it's 0-1. Ricky talked about Aaron's curveball and the usage of it. Well, the strike rate on the curveball is almost 80% today.
Fantastic.
The whiff percentage is nearly 30%, which means he is getting swing and misses against it. 0-1 pitch. And it's high. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Now, Ricky likes that breaking ball, but I'm loving his command of his fastball as well. And that's, you know, he's able to utilize all of his other pitches because he's able to command that number 1. Good pitch there. And that should have been a strike.
Yep. 2-1.
See him coming with a changeup here. That's my call.
Curveball. And it's a base hit to right field for Bell. So the 4th hit of the day for the Nationals, and it comes to start this 7th inning. Come for the ball game and leave with an all-star souvenir. Kids 14 and under will receive a Pico Zach Wheeler replica jersey when the Phillies host the Cubs at Citizens Bank Park. It's Sunday, July 24th at 12:05. Secure your tickets now by going to Phillies.com. Aaron has 75 pitches. He has just 2 3-ball counts today. Here's Yadiel Hernandez, who's 0 for 2. Oh, good fastball, and he fouls it back. It's 0-1. He was late on it.
Yeah, Aaron hasn't made many mistakes today and left a little breaking ball up for Josh Bell, but Josh is swinging the bat so well. Just holding him to a single is probably a good thing.
That's true. Fouled off. And quickly 0-2. Runs high, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Aaron's got a comfortable pitch count. Just on the doorstep of 80 pitches with nobody out here in the 7th.
Yeah, he really hasn't had a ton of stress pitches because he's been so efficient. Now he get in the 7th inning. It's really a stress inning, and hopefully he can make his pitches here as he gets deeper into the game.
Swing and a miss. He got him. 7 strikeouts for Nola. And 1 away here in the 7th inning.
Yeah, you talk about making a great pitch in a stress situation. He throws a breaking ball backdoor. That's just absolutely perfect. And Yadiel Hernandez obviously fooled, kind of laughing as he finishes his swing. And that's just nasty.
It is. So now Ruiz. Ruiz has singled today. He's 1 for 2. He struck out his last time up. First pitch strike, and it's 0-1. He comes in with a 2-seamer.
Again, if you end up breaking down the areas where he is making, throwing his pitches, I mean, he's staying out of the middle of the zone. He's using the corners, using all quadrants of the zone, and hopefully he continues to make those pitches in this tight game.
Not a bad spot on that one either. One ball, 1 strike. Grounder foul, 1-2.
Based on some of the patterns I've seen him throw, I can see him going to a high fastball, hopefully elevated enough to get over the barrel here on Ruiz.
Well, with a changeup.
Throws a changeup.
Yeah.
Again, looking for that little rollover. Trying to get a ground ball there.
Serves it over the head of Gary DiSarcina in the third base coach's box.
Yeah, good job by Kyber Ruiz of just making contact and staying alive on a filthy pitch on a backdoor curveball.
Foul back. This is only the second time today that Aaron Nola has thrown more than 11 pitches in an inning. Threw 22 in the second inning, but every other inning up until this one, it has been 11 pitches or fewer for Aaron.
Yeah, and once you start getting through the third time through the lineup, the hitters have seen you. Now their shadows aren't really an issue. Maybe seeing the ball a little bit better. I've seen the different variety of pitches, so they're on him a little bit better.
Yeah, the 2-2. Swing and a miss. He got him with a curve. 8 strikeouts for Nola. And there are 2 outs here in the 7th inning. And with that strikeout, Aaron Nola has now gone 136 consecutive hitters without allowing a walk, without issuing a walk, which is tied with Kevin Gausman for the longest stretch in Major League Baseball this year.
Wow. Oh, I'll tell you, that breaking ball, the rotation on it with his fingers on top of it. The mechanics are so good with his pitches now that he's getting that real tight rotation. That curveball doesn't stop breaking. I mean, it breaks all the way through the hitting zone.
Well, here's the pitch to Franco, and it's 0-1. You know what, Ruben? I have to correct that. The intentional walk to Soto.
Does that count as a...
Yes, I believe it does. We'll have to check on that first before we say it. That's Jeff Alckman, our producer, just said that, and he's right. I got to check on that. So it may be 133, and it would be second most. That's my bad. Fly ball, center field. Odubel Herrera comes running in toward the right center field alley, makes the catch. And the inning is over. No runs, one hit, and one man left. We have played 7. We're going to the 8th inning. Little defense for the Phils. They made a couple of good defensive plays the last couple of innings. As we go to the 8th inning, it's the Phillies 1 and the Nationals nothing. Ball is brought to you by your local Delaware Valley Honda dealers. Hurry to your local Del Val Honda dealer. Visit DelValHondaDealers.com. All right, so 1-0 Phillies. We go to the top of the 8th inning. And Castellanos will lead things off. And he takes one at the knees.
Got to push another couple of runs across here to give Aaron Nola a little bit of a breather. Something that they've done very well over the last couple of weeks. But it's been tough coming across some runs today.
Outside, 1-1. The intentional walk does end the streak for Aaron. So
that's too bad.
Yeah, so it was 133. So he was within 3 of Gausman. The 133, though, this is
amazing.
Stellar number, and I don't think it'll surprise anybody. Cliff Lee is number 1 since 1961 in the Phillies. John Lieber number 2 at 155, and then Cliff Lee again 141 consecutive hitters 3 years later. One was in 2009, the other one was in 2012. And then Nola at 133 consecutive hitters. Kurt Schilling had one stretch where he was at 129. And Terry Mulholland 124.
That's some pitching there. I love those numbers. Those are the guys you love to play behind because you know they're throwing strikes and you got to be ready to go.
Fouled back, and it remains 1-2. So we get a miss, and Castellanos strikes out. So 1 out here in the 8th inning. JT's coming up. Our Hyundai defensive play of the game. We could have chosen a couple of them. This one turned out to be a really good one.
Yeah, originally he kind of breaks back or breaks to the side. Didn't quite see that the ball does not hit off the barrel, but this is kind of a game saver. He recoups, breaks back, and makes a heck of a play and keep this game at a 1-0 lead for the Phillies. And that's your Hyundai defensive play of the game, brought to you by your local Hyundai dealers.
JT is 0 for 2. And he takes inside. 1 ball, no strikes. There's Odubel. Two balls, no strikes. Just a hair off the plate now, 3-0.
I think JT will have the green light here, but he's got to look for one pitch in one spot to try to drive it.
At ball 4, so he walks with one away here in the 8th inning. And that'll bring Odubel Herrera to the plate, who's walked. He's popped out, and he has struck out and reached on a wild pitch. Reed Garrett warming up in the bullpen. This is a bullpen, this Nationals bullpen, which has an overall ERA of 4.51, 12th in the National League. The staff overall 5.44, which is 15th in the National League. Low, ball 1. Fouled back. Like he had a pretty good pitch to hit there too.
Yeah, good swing there, and I'd like to have that pitch back. A lot of just misses today for the Phils.
Outside, 2 balls and 1 strike.
To see Odubel hook one to the right side here, maybe a 1st and 3rd situation, and got a little bit of a hole to work with in that 4 hole.
Yeah, if he gets it over to the corner, JT could score. If he gets it to the alley, because Robles is playing so shallow and so is Hernandez in left, he could score from there too.
Yeah, he's definitely scoring from there with his wheels.
2-1.
Look out.
Wow.
Camera well.
Come hang with the Phil's pregame crew at Citizens Bank Park. Get an awesome seat, an exclusive bucket hat. Plus, fans who arrive early can watch the live show and might even get to meet their favorite Phillies insiders. Grab your tickets now at Phillies.com/pregame package. I wonder how many pitches he has.
He's got about 5 of them.
Pulled on the ground. Bell's got it. Steps on the first base bag. Throws to second. And in time to get JT, who made a heck of an effort to try to slide away from Garcia.
They may check this. I'm not sure if he quite got him, but looks like maybe he did.
Rob Thompson has his hand up. Mike Calitri is on the phone just to look. Scott Barry's running over. They have 10 seconds to decide whether they want to challenge it or not. So Rob said, go ahead, take a look at it.
Yeah, this is actually a play that Josh Bell has been working on quite a bit. And he has some issues throwing, but he makes a nice play, gets to the bag, flips it down the line.
The call on the field is out. Philadelphia's challenging.
Well, that was somewhat succinct. Good play by Garcia to get it. Well, I don't know.
Hard to tell, boy.
I think he's safe.
I think he might have gotten in there.
That's tough to tell.
Ooh. Again, it could prove to be another big play. It was a big one yesterday, him beating out that 1 ball.
Well, because it puts him in scoring position, I think it's a good challenge no matter what.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
It's the 8th
in this
inning.
situation. Yes, absolutely.
I don't know. I think his foot's there.
But if it is not definitive, they will not change it.
Ben May is the home plate umpire.
I think he's in there. I think he's safe.
Take another look. See, he's already popping up at that point. Tough to tell where the tag was. I think this is the
one that I think that shows that it doesn't tag him until his foot is on the base. Of course, they have super slow motion over there in New York when they're reviewing these.
Well, they have the same angles that we have. They take certain cameras that are a little more high resolution that they can check the frame rate. All right, here we go.
After review, the call stands. The runner is out. Philadelphia will lose their challenge.
So the call stands. They couldn't tell whether his foot was on the bag or not. It did look like it was. It was a good challenge at this point in the game. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Zach Eflin will be back on the mound tomorrow. As long as everything went well today, which they were doing some extra testing today, and it seemed like he was in pretty good shape for the Phillies. So he'll make his 12th start. Meanwhile, Jackson Tetral will make his 2nd start for the Washington Nationals. The first one didn't go all that well. His ERA 15.75. Starts have gone well today for both Josiah Gray and Aaron Nola. We begin the 8th inning. And Luis Garcia waves at the first pitch from Nola. It's 0-1. Last 5 starts for Aaron.
Wow.
Including today.
Pretty consistent. Getting deep in the game. Saving that bullpen.
.90 pitches for Aaron. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2-0, or 2-1, excuse me.
Starting to see a little action out there in the bullpen. Looks like it might be Brad Hand who's starting to get a little loose.
Ground ball foul, and it evens now 2-2.
Gotta believe that Brad Hand might be getting ready for Soto. He'd be the guy in case they get into a situation where Aaron gets in trouble. I gotta believe Soto is gonna be the guy that he would face.
Sprayed foul over the Phillies dugout.
A couple of real good changeups there from Aaron Nola in this at bat, keeping Garcia off balance.
Yeah, he reached his last time up to start the 6th inning on a ball to second base. He was able to hustle it into a base hit. And a liner out toward right field. Going back on it is Vierling, and he makes the catch as he slams into the scoreboard. He stayed with it the whole way, knew exactly where he was. It traveled a lot farther than I think a lot of people thought. And there's 1 out here in the 8th inning.
Now, Luis Garcia has really been swinging the bat well since he's arrived here back in Washington. He gets a little bit of a cutter, it looks like, and he slams it to right. Matt Vierling does a little karaoke back there, makes the play up against the fence, and it's a huge out. A couple of good defensive plays by the outfielders today by the Phils. Not an easy play. He stays right with it.
And now Robles, and he takes one in the dirt, 1-0. You know, Garcia fouled off a 2-strike pitch in that at-bat. It was only the 4th time today that a Nationals hitter has fouled off a 2-strike pitch.
My goodness.
To extend the at-bat.
Well, he has done a very good job of finishing off those hitters, and he's done it with an excellent breaking curveball.
Noah's got his signs, and now the 2-0. Curveball.
The thing he's done very well is he has the ability to throw that curveball for a strike in that situation. A 2-0 breaking ball, very tough to sit on that pitch in that situation, and he's finishing them off with the 2-strike breaking ball that breaks out of the zone. Fully expect him to go to that breaking ball right here with this 2-2 count.
That one's hit foul down the left field line. It might be playable. It is playable, and the catch is made by Munoz. That was amazing to watch come back, because up in the air it looked like it was a few rows back, and as it was coming down it started to sail back into play.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, that's probably what was going on with that ball off the bat of Luis Garcia as well, because he didn't look like he really pounded that ball, but Munoz stays with it. Didi was there to help him out just in case. Makes a nice play. He's thinking, man, this should have been a foul ball. Nice job by the boys staying with it. That's the reason why Garcia's ball traveled to the wall probably. It didn't look like he hit it all that well.
So now 2 outs. Here's Cesar Hernandez. Hernandez takes a little high. He's 0 for 3. He's grounded out twice. He's flied out to left field. One and one. Every time a Phillies pitcher records a pitch of 95 or more, Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity. Supercharge your home with supersonic Wi-Fi. Only from Xfinity.
Well, Aaron Nola hasn't thrown a lot of pitches. I don't think he's thrown any pitches at 95, but he's really dotted his fastball today and still has good life to that fastball. You see it right there. A little sinking action.
Movement, location.
Yeah. Take it off the barrel.
A lot of smiles in the dugout. Starters have done a nice job. They came into this game with an ERA of 3.73, 5th best in the National League. Bryce out of the lineup today. And now it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cesar fouls it away. Remains 2-2.
Yeah, pretty good swing at that pitch. One of the rare pitches that he left in the middle of the plate. Fouled it back. Got to throw something different here. That was a fastball. It was almost right down the middle.
Reaches out, pokes it back to the mound, caught by Aaron Nola. He fires to first in time, and the side is retired. Man.
Wow.
8 solid innings from Aaron Nola, and he's had a couple of these back to the box today. That one bounced in front of the plate, spun right back to his backhand, and then he made the play. We'll go to the 9th. Baseball is brought to you by the Toyota Camry, now with available all-wheel drive. Visit your local tri-state Toyota dealer today. By Xfinity, supercharge your home with supersonic Wi-Fi, only from Xfinity. By Citizens, official bank of the Phillies. And by Independence Blue Cross. Learn more at IVX.com. Well, we go to the top of the 9th inning. Phillies lead it 1-0. Between innings, Aaron Nola was getting congratulations and a lot of handshakes. I don't know if he's going to go back out and pitch the 9th. He's got 8 innings, 8 strikeouts so far.
Gotta believe they're going to bring somebody who's going to be Sir Anthony, although he is not warming, so he may be letting him finish this game. He's got, he's got the meat of the order here coming up. Starting with Juan Soto, one of the best hitters in the game.
106 pitches for Aaron Nola. Alec Boehm leads it off. Garrett is the new pitcher. Reed Garrett.
This is his 3rd appearance. He's got 4 innings under his belt. He's got a 4-seamer 61% of the time. He'll throw a lot of cutters and a split. Try to strike you out as a left-hander.
Outside, 2-0.
Mid to upper 90s with that fastball. Really need a tack-on run here, at least one.
Man, oh man. That may have gotten the knob of the bat. Thank goodness it didn't get his hand.
You know how many times I've seen that happen this year.
It does seem like it's happened more this year.
Obviously would have been ball 4, but
no, didn't get the knob. He got the bat itself.
The bat. Reed Garrett is a 16th round pick. Texas Rangers back in 2014 from Henrico, Virginia.
That one's shot right back up the middle. A base hit for Alec Boehm. Alec has reached on an error. He's walked, and now he's got a single. And Bryson Stott is coming up.
Got to believe that Bryson's going to be asked to move this runner over with a bunt. Really has been struggling, so that would be the play for me, and getting that extra run in this situation would be huge for Aaron Nola and the Phillies.
Michael is in on the grass at 3rd. And Stott bunts it in the air. Oh, it's over the head of Bell. How about this? Cesar bobbles it. And Alec Boehm is out. And over at first base will be Bryson Stott.
And all Cesar Hernandez had to do was
just couldn't grab it.
He just needed to flip it to Bell, and they couldn't get it done.
Couldn't get it done.
Good job. That was actually a very smart play. Actually, even if he the smart play by Josh Bell, because then, and a good job by Alec Boehm staying right there, because he already occupied the base. Had he come off the base, they could have gotten, could have got the lead runner and flipped it over for the double play, but they couldn't get it done. Nice job by Alec.
There's Brad Hand now starting to loosen again in the bullpen. He had been up before. Veerling takes a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. One and 2. Time was called as the throw went over. Fouled back.
Nice job by Veerling of staying alive in this at bat. Kind of surprised that the second baseman Cesar Hernandez has swung so far over near the bag behind second base. And Matt Veerling, he can flip some balls over to the right side pretty readily.
Stott's got a good sized lead off first. Now that one's hit out towards center field, and Robles glides back, backpedals a few, makes the catch. Stott tags and then stops. Robles has an excellent arm, and there are 2 outs.
Yeah, getting that bunt down was really important. It's just not the best technique or pitch selection by Bryson Stott, unfortunately. And the first thing you want to do is make sure you bunt the top of the ball so it gets onto the ground.
Well, this is the only run of the game. Munoz back in the 7th inning.
Yeah, Jairo Munoz gets a little cutter that stays in the middle of the plate from Erasmo Ramirez, and he crushes it to left for the only run of the game. Reed Garrett throwing some queso by these guys. A lot of life in that fastball. 96, 97.
Oh, 2. Oh, 2. Stott leads off first. Top of the 9th inning. Phillies lead at 1-0. There goes Stott. Pitches high. Throw to second base is. He's off the bag. He's out at second base. So he was safe, exactly, and then he was off the bag.
It's exactly the play I was just talking about. I just don't think this is the reason why they implemented this play. To me, this runner should be safe. I know there's others who are going to argue with me, but that's not why they made this. That's not why they made the rule, I don't think, of being able to check these. Being able to check them.
So watch it here. So Stott is there.
The tag's still on him.
There was no pressure by Cesar, so that's probably what Scott Barry thought.
Yep.
We go to the bottom of the 9th. Well, we go to the bottom of the 9th inning here at Nationals Park. The Phillies are hanging on to a 1-0 lead. And the last 4 road starts for Aaron Nola. He's the one who got the Phillies to this point. Man, just incredible work by Aaron. Just 3 earned runs during this time in 31 of the 3rd innings. First Phillies starting pitcher to throw at least 8 innings with 1 earned run or fewer in 3 straight road starts since Cliff Lee in 2011. Again, we keep going back to 2011, 2010.
A lot of similarities going on there, especially with the way the guys are pitching in the rotation and the way they're swinging the bats, which is what we thought would be a couple of their real strengths. The rotation and their offense.
Well, Brad Hand is the new pitcher for the Phillies. Brad picked up his 2nd save the other day in this series. So no Sir Anthony Dominguez, and again, Rob Thompson said it's about matchups. At least that's what he's led us to believe. So he must think the matchups are better for Brad Hand, with Soto leading it off, and he got a gift strike there. It's 1-1.
Almost looked like Soto was taking all the way on that pitch. It's kind of strange to me in this situation.
Outside, and it's 2-1. Hand, who was with the Nationals last year before going on to the Blue Jays, was not good with the Blue Jays. And then went on to the Mets. 2-1. Check swing. No swing. 3-1.
Really good pitch that probably could have been called a strike. Maybe just off the corner. Don't think he's going to give in to him. I can see him throwing another slider in this situation.
Well, he did indeed throw the slider. Now it's 3-2.
Now he can go either way. I know he's probably likely to throw another slider in this situation.
3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out, bottom of the 9th. Grounded foul.
Hit off the end of the bat. Looks like Soto broke his bat. Off the little hollowed out top.
Three and 2. Inside, ball 4. So he walked him. That's the 2nd walk today for Soto. 54 on the season. And that will bring Nelson Cruz up. He's 0 for 3.
You'll see the defense go into a no double situation, that especially the outfielders get some depth. The amount of power Nelson Cruz has. Brad Hand trying to get that rollover ground ball, hopefully to Didi at short or Jairo Munoz at third base.
Cruz is 0 for 3. Takes strike 1, 0-1. Ground ball over to third. Charging Munoz. And his play is to first. Yeah, there's 1 out. Up to second base goes Soto. So 1 away. Runner at second base.
Yeah, really too risky a play just because he had to come a long way. He was playing deep at third base. Soto would clearly have beaten that play had he tried to get the force at second to keep him from being in scoring position, and makes the right choice to throw him out at first base.
Well, now Josh Bell. Now Bell, for his career, is a better left-handed hitter than right-handed hitter. He has more power from the left side than the right side, although we've seen it a little differently in this series.
A little surprised that they're not going to walk this guy in this situation with the way he's been swinging the bat. I know that Thomas, who is now on deck behind him, has been swinging the bat well, and I guess one of the book rules is to not necessarily put the possible winning run on. This guy has been so hot. Tell you what, he's showing a lot of confidence in Brad Hand here.
Yeah, Bell is 1 for 3 in this game. His at-bats were left-handed against Aaron Nola, who went the first 8 innings. As Sir Anthony starts to throw in the bullpen. And a high fly ball to deep left center field. Odubel says he has it, and he's there to make the catch a couple steps from the warning track, and then fires to third base in time to hold Soto at second. Wow.
Well, I'll tell you, off the bat, I thought this ball had a chance to be a home run, but he didn't quite get it on the barrel. He got in on him just enough to get him off the barrel, and ended up being a long fly ball to left center field. Nice job by Odubel making the play and getting the ball in and keeping Juan Soto at second base. Yep, you see him just miss it on the barrel. Game of inches, game of centimeters.
I think Brad was a little unsure when it left the bat.
2 outs, my friend.
So 2 away. Lane Thomas, the hitter. Thomas did not start today, hitting .227, 7 home runs, 27 RBIs. He's been better lately for the Nationals since the 1st of June, and he swings and fouls that one off JT. It's 0-1.
Yeah, he sure has. He's been swinging the bat very well ever since he got an opportunity to basically play every day, either in center or left, and kind of a gap-to-gap hitter. Has been making pretty consistent contact, pretty good against lefties. See, the numbers aren't great, but as of late, as Tom said, he's been swinging the bat well.
One ball, 1 strike. Fouled it again, 1-2. There's Sir Anthony still tossing it in the bullpen. Brad Hand is ready with a runner at second base. And the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball just missed. Wow. That was awfully close.
Tell you what, I do not know how Lane Thomas stayed off this pitch in this situation. It crossed everything but the plate.
I think it even crossed the plate.
Really good pitch by Brad Hand. Got to come back with another one.
Two and 2. Out toward right field. That's in for a base hit. Beerling gets it set up. Soto's coming home. The throw to the plate is not in time. And we are tied up at 1 here in the 9th inning. 2 strikes on Lane Thomas, and the pinch hitter comes through. And it's a 1-1 game here in the bottom of the 9th inning.
Yeah, really unfortunate for Aaron Nola and the Phillies, but Brad Hand leaves that slider out over the plate. Got to give credit to Lane Thomas. He punches into the right. Can't quite get Soto, who had a very good secondary, and scores on the fairly easily on that play.
So now it's Ruiz who's the batter with 2 men down. And by the way, nobody's warming up in the bullpen for the Nationals. They put the rosin bags away. So if we get to the 10th inning, and that's the hope at this point, Reed Garrett looks like he's going to pitch. Aaron was excellent today. He's going to get a no decision. Yeah, the pitch from Hand. Runner goes. Pitch is pulled foul down the left field line. And it's 0-1 to Ruiz.
Well, it's a danger you run into when you don't add on, and Phillies had some opportunities to add on, but you got to give some credit to the Washington Nationals pitching. They threw the ball very well and have kept the Phillies at bay.
One.
Got to believe if he does not get this hitter, that Sir Anthony would likely pitch against Maikel Franco and get that righty-righty matchup. Still kind of a little surprised that once Lane Thomas was named as a pinch hitter, that maybe you would think that you would give the ball to Sir Anthony Dominguez in that situation.
Yeah, he had really just started loosening up at that point too. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. With 2 outs. Ground ball foul. Munoz was hugging the line, so he had to play if it was fair.
Again, playing in a no double situation with the man on the line. Got the outfield defense very deep, guarding against the double as well. Some other people doing some praying.
Fouled off. Check swing. Boy, he just stayed alive. It would have hit him in his shoe tops.
Talk about an emergency hack, boy. Did keep himself alive. Pretty good slider here, bearing down on the back foot here, and he just touches it.
All right, back to work again with the count 2-2. Ground ball shortstop. Didi's got it, sweeps it over to second in time, and we are going extra innings again here in D.C. 6-4 on the putout at second base. An RBI pinch hit single by Lane Thomas means a no decision for Aaron Nola. We'll go to the 10th. To swings. He's going to pinch hit for the Phils. Got a 1-1 game. Matt Vierling's going to take a spot at second base for the Phillies, so good speed on the base paths for the Phils. Phillies were able to get a couple runs yesterday when they went extra innings. And Reed Garrett will remain in the ball game for the Washington Nationals. Phillies 3-4 in extra inning ball games. The Nationals 1-2. So Hoskins, who has played almost every day, got today off to start, and now is going to pinch hit.
Yeah, interesting that he's pitching for pinch hitting for Jairo Munoz, who's got a home run today. Been swinging the bat okay.
Yeah, part of me thought that Munoz would bat and bunt.
Maybe bunt.
Just thought maybe that's how they would approach this, because the top of the order is coming up next.
Yeah, not a bad thought. Especially with the bottom of the lineup coming up for the Washington Nationals.
All right, so here is Reese with a runner at second. Got a first pitch outside, 1 ball, no strikes.
Reed Garrett with a pretty quality inning this last inning. Works around a leadoff base hit.
Reese hitting .249 with 13 home runs, 36 runs batted in. Hit foul off to our right and out of play. 1-1. Tanner Rainey is now warming up in the bullpen for the Nationals. That's weird.
Yeah.
Why would he warm up now?
Kind of surprised him a little bit, I guess. Some odd things going on, Tom.
Three balls, 1 strike.
He's going to be looking for something to drive in the middle of the plate.
Three and 2.
It's almost as if he was taking all the way there in a 3-1 pitch.
It did almost seem that way.
Kind of strange. Yeah. Fastball middle in. Pretty good ball to drive.
So 3 and 2 with the runner at second. And Garrett set. Time is called. Ball's popped foul behind home plate.
No, same pitch he got 3-1. He got 3-2.
He may get it here again.
They're trying to tie him up a little bit. They're throwing those fastballs up and in on Reese, hoping that he can't get any extension.
Runner leads off second, the 3-2. Staying alive.
No, real good job of fighting this pitch off. He had not seen that cutter and battles and lives to see another pitch.
Dave Martinez and Jim Hickey.
Actually, Tim Bogart.
Tim Bogart. What? I haven't gotten that right twice now. Jim Hickey is on the stairs. 3-2. Well, Reed Garrett was taking some time.
Yeah, I think Matt Vierling had his attention a little bit. Started to creep off there a little bit.
Ground ball back toward the middle and under the glove of a diving Garcia in the center field. Vierling's going to score. RBI single for Reese, and the Phillies retake the lead here in the 10th inning. There was no interference, no obstruction, just a clean single up the middle, and Reese gets the RBI.
Wow, quite an at-bat by Rhys Hoskins here, and for him to fight off a couple of pitches, surprised he took the 3-1 pitch down the middle, but he stays on this fastball. Kind of punches it up the middle. Luis Garcia cannot quite get there, doesn't have the range to get there, and Matt Vierling scores rather easily and got another man on base. Got to try to drive him in as well.
Yeah, that second run was so important last night at extra innings. And now Reese takes his lead off first. And Kyle Schwarber, who was 0 for 3, walked back in the 5th inning, takes inside 1-0. How
about a Schwarbomb here? Let's really open it up.
Seriously.
He's going to get something hard unless he gets the 2 strikes and mix in a split.
2-0.
I cannot believe that they did not bring Rainey into this game.
I mean, unless they're, yeah, I don't know. Unless last night, well, yeah, because why would he be warming up in the 10th inning?
Well, you'd think that in a tie ball game, typically you bring your closer in. I don't know, maybe the rule of having a ghost runner changes things. I'm not sure.
Ooh, fouled back. That's a good rip. 2-1. By the way, Sir Anthony is still throwing in the bullpen, so it looks like he's going to pitch the bottom of the 10th inning.
I'd really love to see these guys tack on and open this up. That'll really break their back here and give Sir Anthony a little breathing room. See if we can jump on a big fastball here.
Ball 4, and that's 2 on with still nobody out here in the 10th inning. And Didi's due up.
Reed Garrett's out there. He's going to be the guy. Now at least they've got another person getting ready to throw.
Yeah, Rainey's not going to continue throwing. Andres Machado is going to start to warm up.
Yeah, they're going to try to give Jim Hickey try to give him a little bit of time to get ready.
I mean, we don't know what the inner workings are, if there is a reason, if there's something wrong with Rainey, if they just didn't like the way he threw last night. But it makes very little sense that he's not in the game.
Well,
here.
he hasn't used a whole lot in the first couple of games, just used once.
Once.
Maybe he's a little under the weather somehow. Kind of glad they're not using him. We'll tell you that. Now, it is a possibility that we might see Didi trying to bunt to move these runners into scoring position, but now that they do have a lead, I think they're going to give him a chance to just go ahead and swing it. Me personally, I like to bunt these guys over because I think Castellanos will drive the runs in.
Well, Franco's in on the grass at third. And he bunts it foul.
And he didn't get the bat head out far enough to get that bunt down and see if he gives him another shot at it. You see the barrel of the bat lagging behind a little bit, and that's the way he wants to bunt it to third base, to try to force the third baseman to come get the ball so he can move the runners. Try to keep it, obviously keep it away from the pitcher.
Extra inning batting average, .295, a home run, 5 RBIs. Two and one. Ball 4. Bases are now loaded. Oh, no, actually, that's 3. My bad. Scoreboard said 3 up here in Nationals Park. Our bug said 2. Scoreboard said 3.
The scoreboard people are kind of messing with us a little bit. They've been doing it the entire.
I shouldn't have looked at it. And a line drive back through the middle of base hit. Reese will be held up at third. The throw goes to the middle of the diamond, hits the pitcher's mound, and just starts to trickle toward the line. The bases are loaded for Castellanos.
Yeah, I actually like the way that sequence went. Once they got to 3-1 in that situation, I like the idea of letting them go ahead and swing away, and Didi rewarded him with a base knock up the middle.
Well, here comes Davey Martinez.
Fastball literally right down the middle, and he smokes it on a line. Now, Reese does have to freeze on this ball, because if it's caught and he's doubled up, that would be a kind of a cardinal sin, and now you got Davey Martinez making a move.
So pitching change here in the 10th inning. The Phillies lead it 2-1, but they're threatening for more. Over at second, Gregorius over at first. And there's nobody out, and Andres Machado, who was just re-added to the roster today. He was dropped yesterday, added today. He was allowed to be re-added because of an injury. And he's going to face Nick Castellanos, with the Phillies leading it by 1. The Phillies are 2 for 2 this inning with runners in scoring position. They were 0 for 3 prior to this.
Yeah, Andres Machado with a power arm, 96 to 97 on the fastball. He'll throw a four-seamer, a sinker, slider, and changeup. Pretty much everything very hard.
Well, the infield is in for the Nationals. And that ball's hit sharply right towards second base. They throw home for one. Scooped one hop by Ruiz. That was a good play by Ruiz.
Yeah, excellent play by Ruiz. Hernandez gets rid of it quickly. Ruiz makes an easy pick. Ball was not hit on the barrel, and Hernandez quickly releases it, but a nice pick by Ruiz to get the sure out at home plate. Phillies have not fared very well with the bases loaded in this series.
No.
They have not done well there.
All right, so now the Nationals will play the infield back for 2. With JT up. JT's been hit by a pitch. He's walked. He's officially 0 for 2. It's 1 ball and no strikes.
See JT get a little extension on one here. Maybe cheat a little bit on a fastball and try to drive it. See if we can get some air underneath one into the outfield.
2-0. And a high fly ball. Just a few steps out into shallow left field. Garcia waits for it, makes the catch. Infield fly rule is called. Yeah, there are 2 gone now in the 10th inning.
Not very good situational at bats by a couple of veteran hitters there, and he got a pitch to hit here. And this is one of those situations you got to drive the ball into the outfield, and they can't get it done. And now they're looking for a 2-out knock from Odubel Herrera.
Odubel is 0 for 3 with a walk today. Runners take their lead. And Odubel fouls it back. 0-1. 125 average with the bases loaded for his career.
Yeah, Machado's not looking to trick anybody. He's just going after him with the power stuff. And firing that fastball in there.
Off the hands, out toward left, and Thomas is there. Well, the Phillies do get 1. They were hunting for more, but they leave the bases loaded. We go to the bottom of the 10th. Sir Anthony Dominguez is coming on. They got an RBI single from Rhys Hoskins. And Sir Anthony Dominguez is going to check into the ball game with this 1-run lead. Ruiz will go to second base. You see his legs going by the top of the screen. Defensively, the Phils have Alec Boehm over third base. He moves from first to third. And Rhys Hoskins stays in the ball game to play first. And there is Ruiz at second base. And Maikel Franco is going to be the batter for the Nationals.
Yeah, you kind of hope the Phillies, the fact that they couldn't drive in a run with that man on third base or bases loaded, nobody out. In that situation, it doesn't come back to bite them. They have only themselves to blame, and then I got to rely on Sir Anthony Dominguez to try to finish things up.
Franco's 0 for 3. A couple of ground outs and a fly out to center field. Swing and a miss. 99 from Dominguez to his buddy Michael. And it's 0-1.
Well, Michael was trying to end this game with that swing.
He sure was.
He wasn't trying to move the runner at all.
I don't know if he'll have a different approach here. Oh, and 2.
Wow, that's a nasty life on a sinking fastball at 100 miles an hour. Wow.
Check swing. Did he offer? No. Yeah, 1 ball, 2 strikes. So Anthony set. Runner at second base. 2-2. Aaron Nola went the first 8, 4 hits, no runs, 8 strikeouts. Brad Hand pitched the 9th inning. And Brad allowed a hit and a run. And now Sir Anthony Dominguez. And a high fly ball to left field. Playable for Schwarber. Ruiz is not tagging. Schwarber's got it. And makes the throw in toward third. 1 out here in the 10th inning. And Luis Garcia is coming up.
Yeah, really nice sequence by Sir Anthony. Gets that first, gets out early and gets ahead. Tries to get a couple of chase pitches and then rushes that fastball up and in on Michael Franco. Cannot move the runner. See this fastball with some serious life at the top of the zone and forces Michael Franco to swing and actually pull the ball so he can't move the runner.
Garcia is 1 for 3. He has struck out, infield hit, and flied out to right field. He hit it pretty far to right. Veerling tracked it down, and he whacks the first pitch foul. 94-mile-an-hour sinker from Sir Anthony.
Luis Garcia, one of the more dangerous guys in the lineup down here deep in the lineup. I was kind of wondering why Davey Martinez put him so deep in the lineup today with the way he's swinging the bat, but if you take a little pressure off the kid, now he's got to come up with a big base hit in this situation.
Other way, Schwarber toward the line, makes the catch, and Ruiz, who had gone halfway, goes back. And 2 outs. Well, for the second time in the last 2 innings, the Phillies are down to the final out with a lead.
Yeah, actually a really nice piece of hitting by Garcia and a very good job by the Phillies defensive group of placing Schwarber in the right spot. Ball was hit well to left field and Schwarber tracked it down easily.
All right, so 2 outs, and Adrianza is going to pinch hit for Robles. 185 hitter. I guess they just felt like the righty-righty matchup wasn't a good one.
Absolutely, but Adrianza, he can get on a fastball. Now, I've seen him in the past. He's had some success coming off the bench, staying on the hard stuff, and that's probably one of the reasons why Davey's got him up there in this situation.
5 for 27. Fouls it back. 0-1.
Had a healthy hack at that pitch, even though it was 99 and up in the zone.
Yeah, it was kind of free and easy.
I'll tell you what, man, this guy can hit a fastball. And he was looking for it.
Out to left again. Schwarber waits for it. He's under it. Makes the catch, and the Phillies have won again. They've taken 4 in a row from the Washington Nationals. They win it in extra innings by a final score of 2-1 as Seranthony Dominguez finishes off the 10th inning to pick up the save.
Yeah, really a tremendous job by the defense and a nice job by the pitchers. I mean, Seranthony Dominguez was bringing the noise. That fastball coming in at upwards of about 100 miles an hour. The Phillies figured out a way to win the ball game.
Second time in franchise history, the Phillies have won 15 of the first 17 games in the month. The last time they did it was back in 1977 in August. Well, 4 in a row here against the Washington Nationals in this series.
Really a terrific job by the boys. They're rewarding Rob Thompson with some very solid play. Excellent defense today. Very good pitching. Aaron Noel was just spectacular today. It was, I mean, it's unfortunate that he did not get his win, but he really threw the ball well.
Well, he is our player of the game, brought to you by Chevrolet. 8 innings, 4 hits, no runs, 1 walk, and 8 strikeouts. So Aaron gets the no decision here, remains at 4-4. His ERA continues to drop down, but Seranthony Dominguez is able to pick up the save for the Phils as he closes things out here in the 10th inning. So a stellar job by Seranthony to close this out and help the Phils to their victory. They've won a dozen in a row down here in Washington, D.C. Well, here's the 3 outs for Seranthony Dominguez with runner at second base. All to Kyle Schwarber in left field.
Yeah, first he gets Maikel Franco to hit the fly ball to left field after getting ahead of him. Cannot move the runner. Then he throws a power sinker to Luis Garcia, another fly ball to left, and then finally a little cutter that, again, fly ball to left field. And it's his first save of the season. Great job.
And Seranthony does join us. Seranthony, congratulations on that inning there. How comfortable did you feel pitching in that 10th inning?
Hey, man, thank you. What can I tell you? I just come in the game to do my job, you know. I try to be ahead of count, try to get people out. I know we got men on second, but I just try to don't think about it. Just try to get ahead in the count, make good pitches, and try to get people out.
Seranthony, it's Ruben Amaro. Congratulations on your first save. Tell me about, I see the ball coming out of your hand. You're up to 100 miles an hour now almost. Obviously, I have not seen this kind of velocity out of you. Is there something you're doing differently now that you've done in the past?
No, I think I don't do anything different. I just keep working hard. I think I never worked so hard that I work in the offseason. And when I get hurt, when I get in the IL for Tommy John, I start to work really hard because try to find a way to get back, you know.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know Diego's listening. We're showing him right now. But you guys have this relationship in the bullpen, these guys in the bullpen. Tell me how that is and how cool it is to kind of feed off each other.
They feel really good. I got really good guys, really good younger guy and veteran guy. I think we can do a really good job. I think we can go ahead in the season and take a first place.
Yeah, you guys have been playing great baseball, and actually the bullpen is starting to get better and better. The other part of what I've seen out of you, I've never seen so many sinkers. Are you changing the grip on that pitch? Is that something new for you?
That's something I've thrown sinker before, but not right now. I think right now my sinker is moving a little bit better, and I take advantage.
So we've talked to you about your rehab and how you've come back. How much do you enjoy the fact that this is your first save since 2018? What does that mean to you?
That means a lot for me. I've been waiting for the opportunity after get here, and I finally get it, and thanks God for letting me do my job.
Hey, I got to ask you a question. Facing a guy like Maikel Franco, somebody you've known for a long time, one of your buddies, what does that feel like in that situation? It's got to feel a little different, right?
Yeah, I feel a little different before, but when you're on the mound, you got to do your job and can't think about.
All right. Well, congratulations, Sir Anthony, and thank you for doing this interview. You are awesome.
Yes.
You're getting better and better, so we appreciate that.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Yeah, Sir Anthony Dominguez gets the save, his first of the year, first since 2018. Pretty incredible. Our next broadcast will be tomorrow at 11:30. It'll be on Peacock. And then our broadcast will be Tuesday, a 2-game series against the Texas Rangers at NBC Sports Philadelphia. We're streaming on the My Teams app. Don't forget, Ruben's on tomorrow with Kevin Franzen and Jason Benetti. The senior producer of Phillies baseball, Jeff Halleckman. Josh Schrager is our associate producer. Our director's been Nick Marquetta. For Ruben and our entire crew, I'm Tom McCarthy. Thanks for watching, everyone. Cure Auto Insurance presents Phillies Postgame Live. Coming up next.